Alright, in this video, I will discuss with you the Addmaths MRSM paper. Okay, so this is the Matematik Tambahan and is the MRSM paper. Okay, and this is the Kertas 1. Okay, alright, so let's start. Okay, question number 1A. Given fx is 1 over 2x plus 7, find value of x such that fx is undefined. So what is undefined? Tidak tertaklif. It means math error. Undefined means math error. So they want to find value of x that will make this function tak ada jawapan. Means make this fx math error. So you need to know something. We cannot divide by 0. Okay, we cannot divide by 0. So if there is a other x dekat bawah macam ni, means dia ada undefined case. Okay, so you can see that this fraction dia bawah ada x. So it means bawah tak boleh kosong lah. Okay, because when the bawah kosong, then you will get math error because you can't divide by 0. So you just take the denominator equals 0. So you will get 2x equals -7. So x equals -7/2. That means when x is -7/2, this function will be math error. It will be undefined. Tidak tertaklif. Okay, some student they might go and write like this, like they might write like this. Okay, it's wrong to write like this, because if you write like this, you are saying that x cannot equals to -7/2, which is true. Because when x is -7/2, then it becomes math error, right? But the soalan asks you to find x such that fx is undefined. It means they want you to tell them the x value that make this function undefined. So you cannot write not equals, you have to write equals. Okay. In other words, -7/2 is the x value that's gonna make this function undefined. Okay, so don't put not equals, don't. Okay, but actually, the x cannot equals to -7/2 lah. But the soalan ask for the x yang akan membuatkan dia math error. So you have to write x equals. Macam tu. Okay. Okay, hope you understand. So sudah siap? Okay, let's do B. Diagram 1 shows graph of function gx for the domain x in between 0 and 3. So it means ini adalah dia punya restriction, dia punya domain. So the domain, it means they want the first point x coordinate to be 0 and the last point x coordinate to be 3. Okay, that's what it means, right? And when I say first point, last point, I'm referring to the paling kiri punya point and paling kanan punya point. The furthest left point and the furthest point to the right. Okay, so that's why the range here is 0 to 3. So state number 1, the image of 3. Okay, you need to know something. If they want image of 3, means 3 is the object. Okay, yeah. And also, if you look at this question, they never give us the gx function. Dia tak bagi gx function, tapi dia ada bagi coordinate sini, right? So the first coordinate is 0, 2, and then 1, 1, and then 2, 2, 3, 5. So you need to know the x-axis is the object. Okay, yeah, the x-axis is the object, and then the y-axis, that's the image. It means gx is the image, right? So it means if 0, 2, this is the x coordinate, what it means? It means when the object is 0, the image is 2. That's what it means. Same if here, object is 1, image is 1. And then this one is object, when the object is 2, the image is 2. And then the object is 3, image is 5. Basically, all the x coordinate, that's the object lah. And then all the y coordinate, those are the image for the y coordinate. So if they want the state image of 3, it means you kena tengok x coordinate 3 lah. So you can see here, when the object is 3, what is the image? 5. So that's the answer, 5. Okay. And there is only one point with the x coordinate 3 here. So that's the one we refer lah. Okay, sekarang kita boleh buat number 2. So number 2 says state the range for x smaller or equals to. Okay, if they want to change the domain to x smaller or equals to, it means my furthest my furthest point to the right is no longer 3, is 2, right? So let's go and find x2. So this is x. So this point is 2, 2. So when you butcher this will be 2. So this is your furthest right point. It means all this extra part is gone already. I sudah padam already. This one all erased already. So what is the range for x smaller equals 2? So the range for x will be 0 until 2. But when they say range, what they mean is the range for y-axis. Yeah, for the gx. Okay. So the range for gx will be what? You have to tengok paling bawah until paling atas punya point. Paling bawah punya point sampai paling atas. Okay. Sebab kalau you mau range of domain x, you tengok paling kiri, paling kanan, right? But if you want the range For the y-axis, you tengok paling bawah, paling atas. So you have to tengok the furthest point down and the furthest point up. So if you look at this curve here, okay, this one erased already, huh? So the furthest point down is this point right here, and you have to look at the y coordinate because you are finding the range for y, right? So the y coordinate is 1. Okay, is 1, huh? And then what is the paling atas punya point? Is this one, right? They both same level. Why? Because they both have the same y coordinate, which is 2. It means these two at same level. It means the range for gx, the range for y will be 0 to 2. Okay. Wait. 0 pula. 1 lah, this one. Sorry. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, because the paling bawah punya point y coordinate is 1, right? So it's 1 until 2. I silap. So this is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's move on. Number 2A. Given A equals to 5 power x and then B equals to 5 power y, express 5 power x plus 2y in terms of A and B. So the information they give us is 5 power x equals A, 5 power y equals B. And the soalan requests us to write in terms of AB. It means we have to try our best to change this. I gonna try my best to change this to 5 power x ataupun 5 power y. Kenapa? Sebab kalau saya tukar jadi 5 power x, saya boleh ganti A. And then if I tukar jadi 5 power, I can ganti B. Then only saya punya jawapan boleh ada in terms of AB kan. So how can I try my best to change this to 5 power x, 5 power y? Actually, you have to pecahkan. Yeah, you have to pecahkan this thing because now everything is like jumbled up together. So you have to, how to say, separate everything. You have to asingkan lah basically. And how you asingkan is by using the law of indices. When you have A power m times A power n, you get A power m plus n, right? Okay, why I write 2? This one is n. But you need to know this formula works both ways. You can change like this. You can also change it back, right? So basically, you can see that this 5 power x plus 2y is basically this, right? The A, where the A is 5 and then the M is X and then the N is 2Y. So we want to pecahkan supaya dia jadi macam ni, separate. Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking towards this. Okay. I want my answer in terms of A and B. So I want my answer to have like 5 power X, 5 power Y macam tu. So that's why I try to pecahkan. So it becomes 5 power X times 5 A power N, so 5 power 2Y like this. Okay. Okay. Now 5 power X, I already know you can ganti with A. You can sub A here, right? But for this 5 power 2y, how? Can you write B? Cannot, right? Then some of you will say, oh, sir, write 2B. Because 5 power y is B, ma. So 5 power 2y is 2B. Eh, mana boleh? Salah. Mana boleh? Okay, let me tell you, there is another law of indices you can use. When you have A power M power N, okay? Yeah, when you have the power side by side like this, the power you will multiply them together like this, right? And let me tell you, you can also write it like this. This is also the same thing. When you have power side by side like this, A power M power N, it's A power M times N, right? And it's the same as A power N power M. It's the same because you times them together. So you end up with the same thing. So ini dengan ni, ini semua benda yang sama. So let me tell you what I will do now. 5 power 2y, cannot write B, right? Because B is 5 power y. So siapa yang kacau sekarang? Tu yang kacau, right? So if the 2 kacau you, the 2 you can write outside the bracket like this. Okay, and why you can write outside like this? Because I told you here already. 5 power y power 2 is the same as 5 power 2 power y and is the same as 5 power 2 times y. These three are the same things. Okay, but why I specifically asked you to write like this is because why I specifically told you to write like this is because I want to ganti the b inside. So it becomes a times b square, which is a b kuasa 2. And the kuasa 2 is only for the b saja yang kuasa 2. Only the b saja yang square. So that's the answer. Okay. Okay, saya sudah berjaya tulis dalam in terms of AB. So ini adalah jawapan dia. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do B. Diagram 2 shows a triangle. Okay, saya boleh nampak. Given that the area of triangle is 2 power 2r plus 4 cm square, express r in terms of S. Okay, to find area of a right angle triangle, you can just do 1/2 times base times height. Sebab kalau dia, the triangle, kalau dia ada sudut tepat 90 degree, you just find it using the 1/2 times base times height. Okay, okay, so 1/2 darab base darab height. So the base is given 2 power r plus 2. And then the height is also given 2 power s minus 1. And then the area is given 2 power 2r plus 4 like this, right? And the soalan asks for r in terms of x. Maksudnya nak jadikan r single lah. Because r in terms of n means r single and then equals to something s macam ni. Okay, jawapan dia dalam sebutan s. Okay, how to make sure my r is single? Okay, if you look at this now, dia sebenarnya adalah indices punya soalan. This one is indices question, right? So what you can try to do is you can use the law of indices. You can use the law of indices and try to make it like try to combine them lah, try to simplify them basically. So if you look carefully, this is 1/2, this is 2, this is 2. So can you nampak ini dengan ni sama base, right? Same base. So when same base and then times, when you take same base times same base, the power you can plus because of this law of indices, right? A power m times A power n, A power n plus n. So yang ni boleh tak saya merge jadi satu? Boleh kan? Sebab dia sama base darab, so power boleh tambah, right? And let me tell you something. Actually, this 1/2 you can also change to base 2 because 1/2 is actually 2 power negative 1. So if I give you A power negative m, you can actually letak bawah jadi A power m macam ni. Ya, ya, boleh. Kalau power negatif boleh letak bawah and then power jadi positif. So actually this 1/2 is actually 2 power negative 1. Because 2 power negative 1 is 1/2 power 1, which is 1/2 lah. Okay. So, and the reason why I do like that is so that I can merge the three same base together later. So I don't want to merge this first. I want to do it sekaligus nanti. So 2 power negative 1 is 1/2, and then times with 2 power r plus 2, and then times with 2 power s minus 1, and it gives me 2 power 2r plus 4. So what I will do now is I will combine these three together. Because same base times same base times same base memang boleh combine jadi satu. And when you combine, the power all need to plus lah. And why plus is because times. Times jadi plus. Kalau divide, then minus lah. Okay, so dia akan jadi negative 1 plus r plus 2 plus s minus 1. Okay, this one tak payah letak bracket pun tak apa, because everything plus together. So when everything plus together, the bracket is useless. No need to put bracket. Tapi kalau minus, then you have to be careful. So if kalau before bracket minus, then you have to be careful because you need to change all the sign inside the bracket. You kena tukar tanda dalam bracket. Semua orang kena tukar tanda dulu. Tapi kalau plus tak apa. So equals to what? 2 power 2r plus 4. Okay, after you reach here, you realize your left hand side and your right hand side, they are same base. So what you can do now is to compare. Okay, we banding lah. So base dekat sini dengan base dekat sini dah sama. So the power also will be the same lah. Okay, you have same base on the both sides, then your power on both sides also can be equal. So it becomes negative 1 plus r plus 2 plus s minus 1. The whole power equals to 2r plus 4. And then these two no need to write already because you compare mah. They already sama already. Okay, so you can just like potong lah. But don't potong in the exam, just potong in your head. Okay, sekarang nak cari r in terms of s, so r kena single. So saya nampak r dengan r boleh buat, and then S dengan S boleh buat, number dengan number boleh buat. But since I'm trying to find R, I'll try to make it positive. So I'll pindah this R ke sana. So 2R minus R, saya tinggal R. And then S dia seorang saja. Okay, so dia tak boleh buat lah, dia seorang saja. And then the rest numbers boleh buat, number dengan number. So negative 1 plus 2, kalau you tekan kalkulator, you dapat positive 1. Positive 1 minus 1 is kosong. But there's a 4 here, so kosong minus 4, negative 4. So the answer for R is S minus 4. Okay, ini jawapan dia. So you can use your calculator to help you. Boleh guna calculator. Okay, so ini jawapan dia. So dah siap. Okay, let's continue. This is number 3. Another log question. Okay, given log b c power 5 base b equals negative 1. Find value of log c base b. Okay, first of all, we can use the law of logarithm. So they are asking us to find log c base b, right? And if you look at this information, it's also in log base b. So the base is like good already. Okay, the base is good already. Oh, by the way, when you do indices or log question, always check the base first. If the base is not the same, please change base right away. If the base is not the same, kalau base dia tak sama, terus tukar base. Sebab kalau base dia tak sama, you tak boleh do anything already. You cannot do anything. You have to stop everything and you have to make it same base first. So now let's check the base. The base sudah sama. Okay, cantik. So kalau base sudah sama, now we can work towards this. Work towards log C base B. And how we do that? Okay, sekarang you can see everything is jumbled up together. It's log BC power 5 base B, right? Actually, it's B times C power 5. Yeah, there's nothing in between here, means times. Okay, so it's actually B times C power 5. So what you can do is to separate everything, because the one I want is log C base B. Okay, but the one they give us is log BC power 5 base B. So we can pecahkan this and we can use the laws of logarithm. When you have log mn base A, and if the mn dia punya hubungan darab, okay, means dia multiply, you can jadi log am plus log an. This is the laws of logarithm we all learn in form 4, chapter 4. So what we can do is apply this, so it becomes log bb, and kalau times you tulis plus, and then log bc power 5 equals to negative 9. And another laws you learn is the power, you can bring it to the front like this. Okay, power boleh bawa depan. Okay, sampai sini you boleh dapat dah log C base B. You just have to pindah-pindah saja. So yang log BB ni saya pindah dulu. So dia akan jadi 5 log C base B. So this is the one I'm trying to find. Okay, what is log B base B? Log B base B is actually 1. So it becomes negative 9. And since this boleh potong jadi 1, so 1 hantar sana jadi minus 1. And then negative 9 minus 1 is negative 10. And I want to find log C base B. So this 5, dengan dia darab also mah. It's also multiply. So multiply when you move over there becomes bahagi divide. So the answer for log C base B is negative 10 divided to negative 5. Wait, silap. Ini negative 10 bahagi 5. Yeah, because this 5 pindah sana jadi divide 5. Okay, so this is negative 2. Okay, ini baru betul. Okay, hope you understand. Sudah siap? Okay, let's do B. There is a study about excretory waste of an organism in a petri dish. When n number of organism is placed in the petri dish for a minute, the remaining area that has not been contaminated by the excretory waste is 30 bracket 0.9 power n cm square. Number 1, state the area of petri dish. Okay, let's make sure we understand fully the how to say the story, because if we don't understand, we might do the wrong things, right? So let's okay, petri dish. So we have a petri dish, okay? And then what happens? This is a study about excretory waste, sisa perkumuhan of an organism. So when n number of organisms is placed in the petri dish for a minute, the remaining area that has not been contaminated is this formula. So if you look at this formula, it's actually 30 times with 0.9 power n, right? And 0.9, what it means is basically 30 times 90% lah. Do you agree? 30 times 90%, because 90 divided 100, you get 0. Yeah. 90 divided 100, you get 0.9, right? But you have to power n, and n is actually the number of organism. It means the more organism you put here, then the lesser the area that is not being contaminated. Make sense? It means the more organism you put here, when you letak you punya n lagi besar, you punya number of organism lagi banyak, then lagi banyak excretory waste lah. And then the area that has not been contaminated pun lagi smaller lah. Because for every one organism you put inside, it will be like the area will decrease. The area that has not been contaminated will be lesser. Okay, yeah, not contaminated. Okay. Now let's do number 1. So they say state the area of the petri dish. Okay, it means without the organism, if I never put any organism, so the n is 0 lah. You faham kan? Because they want to find area of petri dish, means they want the original area when there is no organism. Okay, so if we tak letak organism, means my n is 0. And 0.9 power 0 is 1. 1 times 30 is 30. So 30 cm square is the original area of the petri dish. Okay. But if I letak satu organism, then it becomes 30 times 0.9, which is not 30 already, right? It will be like 90% of 30. Yeah, because I letak organism means there will be excretory waste mah. So the area yang not contaminated pun dah jadi kurang dah. Okay. Sebab sudah ada excretory waste. Okay, number 2. Find the minimum number of organism need to be placed so that the remaining area that has not been contaminated in a minute is less than 1 cm square. So dia suruh cari number, means suruh cari n lah. So kalau suruh cari n, means dia kena bagi area dah. So dia ada bagi area tak? Ada. Area not being contaminated is less than 1. So the area that has not been contaminated is less than 1. Wait, this formula is also for area not being contaminated, right? Yeah, this formula is the exact formula to find area that has not been contaminated. So now they say the area not being contaminated is less than 1. Means you take this whole thing, 30 bracket 0.9 power n, take this whole thing, less than 1 lah. And then after you solve your n, then that is your answer. Okay, so let me solve for n now. First I will pindah 30. Okay, and by the way, this is an inequality question. Dia ada smaller macam ni, means kita panggil dia ketaksamaan linear. Okay, 30 bring over there becomes 1 over 30. Okay, the symbol is still smaller. Okay, bila masa baru kita kena terbalik simbol ni? When will we need to, how to say, terbalikkan this symbol? When we divide negative value. So when you divide 30, you don't have to terbalik. So it's still smaller, right? And now it becomes an indices question. So you can see something power something equals to something, right? So For this type of indices question, you will check the base, and if they can change to same base, then you change to same base, and then you compare the power. Because if they are same base on both sides, then the power will be the same already. So you can just do it like that, right? But what if you cannot change to same base? Like this question, you can't change to same base because it's like fraction, decimal, yeah, no chance. So you have to tambah log both sides. So when you tambah log both sides, you have to tambah log base 10 on one side, on the other side also like this, log base 10, right? And then this will become 0.9 power, boleh letak depan, and then 1 over 30. And the symbol is still smaller. Okay, no need to terbalik lah. Why you want to terbalik? You letak log je. You letak log saja mah. Okay, only one condition saja you kena terbalik. When you divide negative, baru kena terbalik. Okay, so now how to find n? Log 1 over 30, divide log 0.9, right? And I can use my calculator to help me. So let me press log 1 over 30, divide log 0.9. Okay, tunggu saya sekejap. Okay, my calculator give me 32.2. Okay, dia bagi banyak-banyak decimal place. So I will just write 4 significant figures. So 32.28. Okay, 32.28. Okay, now I want to ask you, the symbol have to write smaller or bigger? Bigger. Okay, why suddenly the smaller terbalik already become bigger? Is because you divide with negative value lah. Yeah, log 0.9 is negative, right? If you tekan log 0 point something, you will always get negative answer. Okay, and of course, you can try with your calculator, just tekan log 0.9 separately, and they really give you negative. Okay, it means the log 1 over 30 is also a negative value. That's why when you take negative number, divide negative number, you end up with a positive number, right? But when you tekan separately, they are both they give you negative actually. That's why when you divide negative, the smaller becomes bigger, right? So just remember, when you tekan log 0 point something, doesn't matter, log 0.1, 0.2, 0.7, 0.09, as long as it's 0 point something, when you tekan log, dia mesti keluar negative one, right? But even if you don't remember that, it's fine. You can just tekan on the spot, right? During the exam, just tekan your calculator on the spot to check whether it's positive or negative. And if it's negative, terbalik lah. When you bahagi negative, terbalik. Okay, I already berjaya solve for n. My n value has to be bigger than 32.28. But n represents number of organism. So I don't think your n can have decimal. You have to round it off jadi integer lah. So what is the minimum number of organism? Okay, you cannot write 32. Cannot write 32. It has to be 33. Why cannot 32? Because the solution here is n greater, besar, more than 32.28. So what is greater than 32.28? 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, all those numbers. But since they want the minimum, that's why you choose 33 for your answer. 32 cannot, because 32 is not more than 32.28. Okay, the answer here says the n must be bigger than 32.28. It means the n is 33 or more than 33 lah. Okay, so we take 33 because they asked for minimum. Okay, sudah siap. That is the answer. Okay, let's continue. Number 4a. Given y equals to 4 bracket x minus 5 power 3 and the dy dx is hx, find the value of integrate 0 to 4 hx dx. Okay, this type of question really comes out a lot in paper 1. Like in integration, they likes to ask this, in paper 1 especially. Yeah, in paper 1, they like to ask this. They will give you the equation and then they give you differentiate this equation equals to something and then ask you to find integrate something like that. Okay, you have to look at what they want to find first. They want to find integrate, right? Yang dia suruh cari integrate. Tapi information yang dia bagi differentiate. So why not we change the information so that the information becomes the information for integrate? Yalah, because dia yang information dia bagi pasal differentiation. Tapi yang dia suruh cari is like integrate. So we need to know from y to dy dx, dia punya process is differentiation. But from dy dx to y, dia punya process is integration. So integrate is the reverse process for the differentiation lah. So apa kita boleh buat? Since dia dah cakap dy dx equals to hx, maksudnya integrate hx dx sama dengan y lah. Faham tak? So the way I explain to my student is like this. If it's hard for you to understand this, you just imagine this d pindah sana. Yeah, this d pindah sana. So the d pindah sana dia jadi integrate lah. Because d is the symbol for differentiate. So when you pindah sana dia jadi integration punya symbol. And then this dx duduk bawah kan. So when you pindah sini dia duduk atas jadi macam ni. And since you pindah dia then can potong dia. So it means what is your y? Your y is the integrate hx dx lah. Which is what I write here. Your y is the integrate hx dx. So faham kan? And don't forget your y sudah bagi tahu dia. So the integrate hx dx is actually y. And what is y? 4 bracket x minus 5 power 3. Okay, saya sudah berjaya tukar information saya jadi integrate. Okay, so now we focus on what they want. So they want integrate 0 to 4 hx dx. Did you realize this one and this one is the same thing? The only difference is they got put the number here, right? This one tak ada number, ini ada number. Okay, so kalau ada number, we call it kameran tentu, definite integral. If tak ada number, kita panggil indefinite integral. Okay, indefinite integral means like kameran tak tentu lah. So don't worry about the number first. First thing is we already know the integrate hx dx is 4x minus 5 power 3. So tulis je lah. 4 bracket x minus 5 power 3. But we cannot just ignore the numbers. The numbers, we have to write it here, right? 0, 4. And what we have to do with the 0, 4 is just sub inside lah. So first we will sub 4 inside. After you sub 4 inside, you sub 0 inside, and then you minus. Okay, and then you minus. Okay, let's sub 4 first. So when you sub 4, it becomes what? 4 bracket 4 minus 5 power 3. This is what happens when you sub 4 inside. And then when you sub 0 inside, it becomes 4 bracket 0 minus 5 power 3. Okay, and then tengah-tengah sini kena tolak, minus. Okay, now we press all this in our calculator. 4 minus 5, negative 1, power 3, negative 1, negative 4. Minus 0 times minus 5, negative 5, power 3, negative 125 times 4, which is negative 500. So minus 500 jadi plus, and then negative 4 plus 500 is 496. Okay, and that is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do B. Diagram 3 shows two cylindrical containers placed on a flat surface. So these are both cylinders, but I can tell they are not the same size. This is like the radius is 10 cm. This one the radius 8 cm. And then ini tinggi dia 12.5. Ini tinggi tak bagi. Tapi tinggi dia, you can see, is like lebih rendah kan. It's like a bit short, lower than the height of this cylinder. Okay, now let's see what it says here. It is given that the containers have the same volume. Oh, rupa-rupanya the volume of container X sama dengan volume of container Y. So they have the same volume. And the water is poured into the containers at a constant rate of 4 pi cm cube per second. Okay, what's the meaning of this? Water is poured into the container at a constant rate of 4 pi cm cube per second. Does that mean like they pour both water at both container at the same time? Yeah, I think that's what they meant, right? So let me tell you what's the meaning. The meaning is they give you the rate of water, okay, but actually it's the rate of volume lah. If you look at the unit here, it says cm cube per second, right? It means for every second, okay, every second, the volume increases 4 pi. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay, yeah. So when I pour water inside, 1 second, for every second, the volume increases 4 pi. Then after 2 seconds, it will be like 8 pi lah. After 3 seconds, it will be 4 pi plus 4 pi plus 4 pi, which is 12 pi, and it keeps going until the cylinder is full with water. Okay. Okay, let's see what they want. Find the time in seconds for the water level in container Y exceeds the height of container X. How do we do this? Okay, first of all, I need to find the volume. Yeah, I think I need to find the volume because after I get the volume, then only I can, because they ask for the time when the water level in Y exceeds the height of container X. Height of water level. So it means I need this height lah. I betul-betul kena ada panjang ni. Kalau tak ada, memang macam mana saya nak tahu bila masa okay, if I don't know this, I cannot do this question, right? Because I need to know the height here, then baru saya boleh tahu at least like the tinggi sini berapa. Okay, then only I can tell, then only I can focus on cari the time taken when the water level exceed this water level. Okay, so apa saya kena buat sekarang? I think I will use the volume. Yeah, I will use the volume to find the height here. Okay, and how we do that? Okay, the volume of container Y. Okay, volume of cylinder formula is pi r square H. Ini formula dia. Pi r square H. So for the volume of Y will be pi r square, which is 8 square, and then the height is 12.5. Right, this is the volume of the whole container. And they said they have the same volume with this, right? So the other side also I will do pi r square H, 10 square. But this time the H is unknown, so I don't know. I'll just call it H. So now I can find H. Okay, pi bahagi pi boleh potong. 8 square times 12.5 divide 100. You can just press your calculator. So my calculator give me 8. That means this H is 8 cm, right? Okay, now we already know this height, but it's not finished yet. They said every second the volume increases 4 pi. So when you pour water inside, lepas satu saat dia punya volume dah 4 pi. So every second lah. And then they say find the time in seconds for the water level in container Y exceeds the height of container X. Okay, I think I have to find the volume when the when they have the same water level. You understand? So let me explain it. So you pour water level in both container, right? But they both have different radius, different height, right? But they have the same volume. They have the same volume. So if you pour it at the same time, mesti at one point, it will look like this. At one point, it will look like this, where this is all water, and this is also filled with water. Okay, do you agree? It means when they mesti at one point they will have the same water level. It means here also 8 cm, here also 8 cm. At one point lah, it will look like this, right? So they are asking you, find the time in seconds for the letter in container Y exceeds the container height of container X. So what we need to find is the time taken when this they have the same water level lah. And macam mana nak cari ya? Hmm, okay. What if I find the volume of uh volume I find the volume of this one lah. Betul lah. I find the volume of from here to here, right? So it becomes what? Volume equals pi r square h, but the r is 8 square and then times with the height 8. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to find the volume of water when it's here. Okay, when it's like same level with this, right? So the volume when it's same level with this will be 8 square times 8, which is 512 pi. Tapi ini 512 pi is the volume of water when it reach same level with this container, right? But they are asking you the time. So we have to use the 4 pi information, right? So every second, when you pour water inside, every second it will increases by 4 pi. So how many second requires to reach 512 pi? You will just take, okay, so to find the time, you can take 512 pi divide 4 pi. Understand, right? Because every second, the volume increases 4 pi. So we already know that when the volume reach 512 pi here, they will be same level. So when you divide, you get the time. So potong potong, 512 divide 4, which is 128. And this 128 is second. It means it will take you 128 seconds to reach here. But the soalan is asking you find the time for the water level container Y exceeds the height of container X. So during 128 seconds, they will have the same level. But if you want the water level to exceed, then your time have to be more than 128 seconds lah. When it's more than 128 seconds, that is when your water level exceeds. Faham kan? It means 128 seconds, when it's exactly 128 seconds, they will have the same level. They will have the same level. But if you want the water level to exceed, it's like anything beyond 128 seconds, that's when your water level exceed the water level in container X. Okay. All right. Hope you understand. So this is the answer. Okay, done. Okay, let's do number 5. Okay, this is a linear law question from 4 chapter. So let's do it. The variable x and y are related by this equation. Okay. Diagram 4 shows a straight line graph y over x squared against x. So when we are doing linear law question, we always look at the y-axis and the x-axis for the graph. Okay, now we look at our equation. The equation yang dia bagi sekarang bukan linear form. Okay, dia bukan dalam bentuk y equals mx plus c. So you have to change to linear form. Yeah, in linear law question memang macam tu. The first step is always, kalau dia ada bagi equation, always change to linear form first. And how to change to linear form? Okay, basically what the idea is like this. You have to tukar supaya you punya y-axis of your equation match with the y-axis of the graph. That's what you want. Okay, you want your y-axis from your equation match with the y-intercept from the graph. So now dia tak sama kan? Your y-axis from the graph is y over x square. So how to make it into how to make sure your y-axis here also same, you will take this whole thing divide x square. Okay, because when you do that, then this becomes y over x square, and this your y-axis later. And then what happens is ax power 3 pun kena bahagi ax square, tinggal ax, 4x square bahagi x square tinggal 4. And you realize this is your linear form. Y equals mx plus c. you can see your y-axis from the equation sudah sama dengan y-axis from the graph. And not only that, your x-axis from the equation also same with the x-axis in the graph. And also it means the gradient and y-intercept also will be matched with the gradient in the graph. It means your gradient from the equation, which is A, will same with the gradient of graph later. And then the y-intercept in the equation will be same with the y-intercept in the graph. Okay, so now they say find value of A and B, right? So very easy, just use the gradient and y-intercept. So from the equations, your A is the gradient from the equation, from the equation. And then from the equation, your C is 4, okay, which is the y-intercept, right? So I'll just write like 4 equals the y-intercept. But the y, I have to use huruf besar. I have to use capital letter. Yeah, because your y-axis is not actually y already. It's like y over x squared. So I will have to use the capital letter. Okay, now we will find the gradient from the graph and the y-intercept from the graph, and then just put them side by side, just equal lah, and take them and equal. So can you find gradient from your graph? Actually, now you can't find it because you don't have two coordinates, so you can't find gradient from the graph. But it's okay because you can find the y-intercept first. So you can see that the 4 is the y-intercept, and if you look at the graph, where is your y-intercept? B, right? Yeah, this B is the y-intercept. It means B is 4 lah. So I can write here B. So B is equals to 4. Okay, so remember, the idea is you take the gradient and the y-intercept from your equation, you equals to the gradient and y-intercept in the graph. So if the y-intercept in the equation is 4 and the y-intercept in the graph is B, so B equals 4 lah. And then how to find gradient now? Okay, you know this is 0, 4 already. So now you can find the gradient. Y minus y or x minus x. So it becomes 4 minus 8 ataupun 8 minus 4 over 12 minus 0. So your answer will be 1 over 3. So that is your A. So your A is gradient 1 over 3 and then B is 4. Okay, sudah siap. Let's continue. Okay, now I'm doing number 6. So number 6 says diagram 5 shows a sector with center O. Okay, sector consists of 3 lines, radius, radius, and arc. Okay, this S line we call it arc. Ataupun dalam bahasa Melayu lengkong or lengkok, lengkong or lengkok. I don't know, but it's like it's arc lah. It's called arc. In English, it's called it arc. Okay, so dia kata sini theta, radian, RCM, S, and you should know that this is also R. Okay, dua line ni sama panjang because they are radius. Okay, now it says proof S equals R theta. Okay, for this question, they ask you to prove this formula. Okay, this formula actually we learn it in Form 5 chapter 1, circular measure, and this is the first formula you learn in this chapter. Okay, S equals R theta. But they are asking us to prove now. Okay, they're asking us to prove. They are not asking us to find the arc or find the radius or find theta. No, that's not what they want. They are asking you to prove the formula. Okay, it means you have to show them why this formula works, and you show them how like where this formula come from. Okay, okay, let me tell you something about circle. So for circle, usually when we want to find the circumference, okay, circumference is the lilitan. Okay, lilitan. It means this line, this outside line right here. The formula we use is the 2 pi r. Okay, yeah, 2 pi r. So this is the formula to find circumference. Okay, the dilatant of the circle, right? But what if you only want to find the arc? You only want to find the arc length. What do I mean by that? It means I don't want the circumference. I don't want the whole circle. I only want a part of the circle. Contoh saya nak sini saja. It means this line we call it arc, right? Circumference is for the whole circle, but I only want arc, right? So what if I want to find arc? The formula will be 2 pi r times with the theta over 360. Okay. So the formula is same with the circumference 2 pi r. It's just that you have to times with the theta over 360. Why? Okay. Because the arc length is directly proportional to the theta, to the angle. Okay, saya ulang sekali lagi. Ini penting. So the arc is directly proportional to the theta. So for example, if your theta sangat besar, then your arc pun sangat besar man. If your theta sangat kecil, your arc pun sangat kecil man. Yeah, because if you open, let's say you open 30 degree, then your arc kecil lah. But if you open like let's say 60, then your arc besar lah. Okay, the more you open, the wider your angle, the longer your arc length. Okay, lebih besar you punya theta lagi wider. Okay, the wider your angle theta here, then your arc lagi panjang lah. Because the arc is directly proportional to the theta, to the angle, right? So this is the formula to find arc. Tapi, when you learn this formula, this formula you learn it before lah. Like even in form 2, form 3, you learn it already. I think it's form 2, yeah. You learn it in form 2 Matematik pun you dah belajar dah formula ni. And when you belajar this formula, your theta is always in degrees, right? In degrees, right? But let me explain to you in another way. So I told you just now your arc is directly proportional to your theta, right? It means when you take the ratio for arc over theta, okay, it's actually equals to the angle, uh, it's actually equals to 2 pi r over 360. Understand? It means when you take the arc ratio theta is actually equals to 2 pi r, which is the circumference over 360, right? Or you can also write it differently. If you don't want to write like this, you can also write like this. The arc over the circumference, okay, is equals to theta over 360. And the circumference formula is 2 pi r. Okay, the circumference formula is 2 pi r. Okay, if I write like this, it's easier to understand, right? Because arc is here, right? So this arc is only part of the circle, right? But if you take the ratio arc over the whole circle, it will be the ratio will be the same with theta over 360. Maksudnya, this is your circle, this is your arc. So kalau you ambil arc per dengan the whole circle punya circumference, dia akan sama dengan angle over 360 because the arc is directly proportional to the angle, right? And if you pindah the 2 pi r, you will get back this formula. Understand, right? Okay, so this is the formula we learned in form 2 Mathematics. So now I will try to prove this formula now. Okay, when you prove this formula, when you masuk form 5, chapter 1, you learn that the theta has to be in radian, right? So what you do now is, instead of arc, I will use S, because that's what the question, they use S to represent arc, so S over 2 pi r. Okay, 2 pi r is still 2 pi r because even though if it's in, like, the angle is in radian, but with the circumference of the whole circle is still 2 pi r. It's still 2 pi r. Okay, equals to theta over 360, but instead of the 360, it becomes 2 pi already. It becomes 2 pi already because yeah, because in radian, theta, this theta is in radian, and 360 degree in radian is 2 pi. Okay, so now it becomes S equals theta over 2 pi times 2 pi r, right? And then the 2 pi boleh potong, and when you potong, you left with S equals theta times r, which is theta r ataupun r theta lah. Okay, so this formula is same with the arc formula, S equals r theta. So you can just write proven here. So this is how you prove the arc formula. So actually this arc formula come from the 2 pi r formula. Yeah, okay. It's just that the 2 pi r formula is that one you have to masuk angle in degree, but this formula you have to masuk theta in radian. That's why the 360 becomes 2 pi lah. That's all. Okay. Okay, so hope you understand. So that's the answer. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's do B now. Okay, this is also circular measure. So diagram 6 shows a circle with center O and rectangle PQRS. So when it's rectangle, you need to know that it's 90 degree. Okay, and also the opposite sides mesti sama panjang. Okay, so I can see that the PS is 32, so we can all assume that the QR is also 32, right? And let me tell you, this QR, this line, we actually call it the chord. Okay, the chord. Perentas. Dalam bahasa Melayu, perentas. Yeah. When the line touches the side of the circle and dia tak ada melalui center, we call it the chord. Okay. Okay, but let's not label first. Let's see what I want. PS is tangent to the circle. Okay, tangent means touches at one point. So this is the tangent point. And then they say calculate area of colored region. So I think it's referring to this purple color region lah. Okay, how to find the colored region? Okay, first of all, I need how to find this area. We will use the area of sector formula, which is 1 over 2 r squared theta, right? So I will just call this A for now. So how to find area of A? So we use the sector formula 1 over 2 r squared theta, right? But the radius I know already lah, is 20, right? But the theta, you have to take the angle from here to here. Do you agree? Yeah, yeah, because the shaded region is like this, so you have to have this theta. Tapi masalahnya dia tak bagi theta. So my job now is to find the theta. Okay, how to find the theta from here to here? Okay, you can't find the theta from here to here, but you can find the theta from here to here. And then you can take 360 minus. Okay, but how to find the theta from here? Okay, let's call this x for now. Okay, how to find the angle x? Well, just now you remember that this is q to r is 32, right? So what you can do is you can potong this triangle in half. Yeah, you potong in half. Because O to R is radius 20 cm. O to Q is also radius 20 cm, right? It means this is an isosceles triangle. And if it's an isosceles triangle, you can cut it in half to form two right angle triangle. Maksudnya, segitiga yang sama kaki, dia sebenarnya adalah combination of two right angle triangle. Isosceles triangle is actually two right angle combine each other. Okay. So when you take two right angle triangle of with the same size and you combine them like this, you will get a isosceles, right? So what you can do is you can cut it in half, right? So let me erase this and cut it in half. And when you cut it in half, you'll get a right angle. But why? Why you want to do that? Why you want to cut it in half? Is because you want to use the right angle triangle formula. Because when you have right angle, you can use the Sokato ataupun Pythagoras theorem, right? But in this case, we will use the Sokato to find the angle. Because I'm trying to find angle, right? That's why I'll use Sokato. So when you cut it in half, this angle and this angle will cut in half also. So it becomes x over 2, x over 2 already. Alright? Yeah, because the whole angle just now is x, so now it becomes x over 2. And also don't forget that Q to R just now is 32. And when you cut in half like that, you end up with 16, 16, right? And now you can use the Sokato to find the angle x over 2 here. So let me draw out the triangle for you. It looks like this. And this is the x over 2. The angle I want to find is here. And then this is 16, this is 20, right? But later, after you find this angle, you have to times 2. Yeah, because you are trying to get the angle for here, right? Okay. Okay, but let's try to find this first. So what you will use? Okay, this is your 90, right? So depan angle, we call it the opposite. Depan 90, we call it the hypotenuse. And then the last one is the adjacent. So which one you will use? So, ka, toa. So you have the opposite and you have the hypotenuse. So you should use sine, right? You're trying to find angle. So it becomes sine x over 2 equals to opposite bahagi hypotenuse 16 over 20. And now you can find your x over 2. Just tekan shift sign 16 over 20. Okay, let me press. Your answer will automatically come out in degree. Okay, my calculator give me 53.13 degrees. Okay, but I want you to know something. When you tekan shift sign, you actually have two answers. One answer in quadrant 1, one answer in quadrant 2. Because add sugar to coffee and in first quadrant and second quadrant sign positive. But this angle right here, but I will not write the quadrant 2 answer is because why I won't write is because this angle is clearly in quadrant 1. This angle is clearly less than 90. So I will not waste my time to take 180 minus. Okay, so to get the quadrant 2 answer, you have to take 180 minus, but I will not do that because I know I will reject that answer anyway. So yeah, this is the only answer that makes sense. Okay, but I still want you to know that. Okay, I still want you all to always check whether it means you have to know lah. You need to know. It's important to know that when you tekan shift sign ada dua jawapan sebenarnya. Okay, now I have to times 2, right? So that I can get the whole angle here. So times 2, I will end up with 106.26 degrees. Okay, now finally I can find the angle outside here. So from here to here is 106.26. What is 360 minus this whole thing? So just tekan 360 minus answer. Okay, I got 253.74. And that is the angle from here to here. But I want to ask you, this 253.74 degree boleh masuk dalam sini Tak boleh kan? Mana boleh? The area formula is 1 over 2 r squared theta and the theta has to be in radian. That means you have to convert this to radian. Yeah. So how to convert this to radian? You have to take 253.74 times with 3.142 divided 180. Okay, times pi divided 180. And the pi they say use 3.142. So now let's tekan this and see what we get in radian. I'll use the answer button. Okay, so times 3.142 divided. Okay, 4.429. So this is the answer if you write in 4 significant figure, 4.429 radian. And this thing, boleh masuk sini. Okay, when you tekan all this, you will get the area of this region. So let's press. 20 square is 400 divided 2 times 4.429. Okay, I'll use the answer button again. So I will write 885.83. Okay, this one is kalau you tulis 2 decimal place then the answer is like this. Okay. Okay, I sudah berjaya cari area sini, but there is one more area I need to find, which is the area here and here, right? Okay, how to find this area? Actually, this area is, it looks like this, right? It looks like this, right? So you cannot find the area directly. Okay, do you know what I mean by that? It means you cannot just use one formula to find the area of this shape. Okay, it's not possible. Yeah, it's not possible because this shape, we tak ada belajar any formula yang boleh guna untuk cari shape yang macam ni, right? So you actually have to find area of something minus area of something. You have to take area of something minus something. So the proper way is to find area of rectangle minus with the area of segment. And kebetulan you also learn ada satu formula yang you belajar to find area of segment. Okay, this shape we call it segment. Yeah, because this region is the region between the arc QR and the chord QR, and this region in between we call it the segment ataupun tembering dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay, let's write down the area of segment formula. So the area of segment formula is 1/2 r square bracket theta minus sine theta. Okay, yeah, this is the formula. Okay, and I want you to know this formula actually come from 1/2 r square theta minus 1/2 r square sine theta. Basically, this formula, the segment, you find the area of segment by taking area of sector, which is 1/2 r square theta, minus with the area of triangle. And the area of triangle, you use 1/2 AB sine C. And for the AB, you use radius. That's why it's r square. And then sine theta is the angle here. Lah. That's why it looks like this, right? And when you see when you factorize, then it becomes like this. So I'm explaining to you why the formula of segment is like this. It's because you take area of sector minus area of triangle. Okay. Okay, sekarang saya boleh cari areas ini. So I'll just write here. What should I write? I'll just write here the triangle minus the segment lah. Okay. Okay, so what is the area of rectangle? It will be, how to say? It will be base times height, right? So the base is 32 cm times with the height of rectangle. Okay, dia tak bagi kan? But we can find it because this height right here and this height right here will be the same with the height here. And you can find this easily because you already know the panjang from here to here. The whole panjang here is 20. Right? Because that's the radius, right? So you just have to find the panjang from here to here using Pythagoras theorem and then take 20 minus. Okay. So I will put an arrow like this. I'll put an arrow like this, indicating this line. You use Pythagoras theorem. So this is a side of the right angle triangle and you already have the other two sides. So you can use Pythagoras theorem, bracket square, sini masuk 20, sini masuk 16. Okay, but you will plus or minus? Minus, because you are not finding the longer side. Okay, the longer side is always the one depan 90. Okay, the hypotenuse. So this, since this is not the longer side, you minus. And if you tekan all this, you will get the panjang 12. And that means the here to here is 12, right? But I told you already, the whole line here is the radius, which is 20. So 20 minus 12 is 8. That means the width of the triangle, rectangle, the width of the rectangle is 8. Okay. Okay, so this is the area of rectangle. Tapi kena minus dengan area of segment. Okay, for this area of segment, is referring to this one, the red color one, right? So you can either use this formula or you can use this also. It's basically the same. It's the same. It's the same thing. Tapi kalau saya lebih suka guna formula yang atas lah. Sebab dia sudah factorize cantik already. So I will just write the one atas. But if you want to do like that, can also. And also I will recommend you to put big bracket. Because later I have to minus. Yeah, so we have to like be really careful here when we write this. Okay, so let's write 1/2 r square, and then for the r is 20 lah. Okay, and then for the theta minus sine theta. Okay, for this theta you have to guna degree. Sorry, silap, radian. Yeah, for this theta it has to be radian. Okay, and then for this theta it has to be in degrees. Sebab dia, kalau dia ada sine cos tan before, then the angle have to be in degree. Okay, what is the angle in degree and radian? Okay, you don't tell me 4.429, huh? No, no, no. 4.429 is here to here. I want the angle is from here to here now. In radian. So what is this angle in radian? Okay. Of course, you already know the angle from here to here in degree is sine 106.26, right? So, okay, let me make space. Okay, this one, I need to make it smaller a bit. Okay, so this, okay, wait, okay, jap. Okay, so Let me write again. Okay, so this one is 32 times 8 minus, right? Big bracket, 1 over 2, r square is 20 square. And then this one theta minus sine theta, right? So you already know the angle from here to here in degree is 106.26. But this one you have to write here at the sign here. So sine 106.26, right? But this theta here you have to write in radian. Okay, so you have to convert this one to radian, right? And how to convert? You can take 106.26 times with 3.142 divided 180. So we can press now. 106.26 times with pi 3.142 divided 180. Okay, I got 1.855 or 854. Right? But I use 855 because if I write in 4 same figure, it's 855. So 855. Okay, like this. And then now you can press this. Okay. Okay, 32 times 8, I will press myself. 256. And then this whole thing I can press calculator. Okay, I'll press this one first. 1.855 minus sine 106.26. 106.26. And then equal, and then answer times 20 square divide 2. Okay, my calculator give me 178.99. 178.999. So basically it's like 178 point. Okay, it's 9997. So I think you can just, when you write in two decimal places, you get 179 point like 00 lah. Okay. Okay, but now I will use the answer button. I'll press 256 minus answer. So I press 256 minus answer. My calculator give me 77.00 like that. So it's like 77. But I think I have to write the 00 because the reason why I write like this is to show that there's still a lot of numbers here. So I think I have to write the 00. And this one is in cm square. Okay, now to find the area of shaded region, you have to take this one plus with this one, right? Kena tambah. So now I will get the final answer here. Area of colored region or shaded region is equals to this value, 885.83, because this is the area for sector bawah, right? And then tambah with the atas punya shaded region, 77, right? Okay, let's press and see what we get here. I use the answer button again. Okay, I got 962.83. Okay, 962.83. So this is the answer. cm square. Okay. All right. So hope you understand. So sudah siap ah? Okay, let's continue with question number 7. Okay, number 7 says diagram 7 shows the percentage of data distribution within standard deviation. And then the symbol lah. And then they give you here k%, mean plus standard deviation, mean minus standard deviation, and they say state the value of k. Okay, if you look at k, k is a percent, right? And we all know percent means what? It means probability lah. Percentage is like percentage and probability is like they are linked together. Percentage is related to probability one. So they are asking you to find percentage here means they are asking you to find the probability here. And what it means is basically they are asking you to find the area from here to here, right? So if you want to find the area from here to here, I will tell you the answer straight away lah. The answer is 68. Okay, and actually the reason is because if your shaded region is in between mean sorry, if your shaded region is in between mean plus theta and mean minus theta, and if the theta pula, I mean the standard deviation, right? Okay, so if your shaded region is in between mean plus 1 standard deviation and mean minus 1 standard deviation, then the area will definitely be 68%, right? So the answer is 68, right? Okay, but some of you might ask why, right? Some of you might ask like, sir, why is this 68%? Okay, I can explain it to you. Okay, the way I explain it is like this. So I will explain it like this. So we have a normal distribution graph. Okay, we have normal distribution graph, and we have another graph called standard normal distribution. Standard normal distribution graph. Okay. Okay, for the normal distribution graph, it will be a bell shape. For standard normal distribution, it will also be a bell shape, right? But for normal distribution, the vertical axis will be here, right? And this one is zx. Okay, this one is 0. This one is the probability. Okay, I'll just write p lah. Okay? Or I will just write fx. Yeah, I think I'll write fx. Okay, yeah, like this, right? And for standard normal distribution, the axis is exactly here. Okay, and this one is fz. And then the axis here, we call it z. Okay, so can you tell me what's the difference? For normal distribution, the vertical axis is not in the middle, right? It's like somewhere here. It means that how to say, the bell shape is on the right side. Okay, and here all the x value is positive. Okay, but for the z value punya standard normal distribution, the vertical axis, okay, is exactly in the middle of the bell shape. Okay, and you need to know that for normal distribution, the mean is here. This is the mean. Yeah, this is the mean. Okay, this is the mean. Okay, and then for standard normal distribution, the mean is at 0. The mean is at 0, and then the variance is 1. Okay, the variance is 1. Or you can, it means the standard deviation is also 1 lah. Okay, so when you want to convert this to this, you will use this formula, z equals to x minus mean over standard deviation, right? And the process is called standardized. Okay, so when you convert x value to z value, you use this formula, and what happens is, like, when you standardize this, it will become like this. And when it's already standardized, the mean is 0, variance is 1, but the standard deviation is also 1. Okay, now I want you to take note sini. You realize that this graph, they actually never give us the vertical axis, right? So we can actually assume that it's a x value, and we can assume that this is a x. It means we assume that this one we still haven't standardized yet, right? Okay, but actually I already tell you the answer, right? It's 68. So I just want to explain to you why it's 68 lah. So the way I explain is, I will call this x, and I will put the vertical axis here, right? It means now it's a normal distribution graph. And now what my job is to try to standardize, make it z value, and then look at the z value table, get the area here, right? But you have to convert to z value first, right? So how do we convert? Probability of, okay, I'm trying to find the probability. This is my shaded region, right? So the region is x in between mean minus standard deviation, and then this one is mean plus standard deviation, right? Okay, x, because this one is x, right? And when we want to refer the z value table, we have to convert to z, right? We have to standardize, and the formula is x minus mean divided standard deviation. So it becomes what? So the x value is mean minus standard deviation, but you have to minus mean divided standard deviation, because that's the formula. The formula is z equals x minus mean divided standard deviation. Z equals x minus mean divided standard deviation. But your x now is mean minus standard deviation. That's why when you sub inside, this x, this whole thing x here becomes mean minus standard deviation, and then minus mean again, divided standard deviation. Okay, now tell me for this side, the x is mean plus standard deviation. So this whole thing sub inside the x here. So it becomes what? Mean plus standard deviation, but have to minus mean, and then divide standard deviation. And then when you take mean minus mean, you get 0. Mean minus mean, you get 0. So basically you end up with negative standard deviation divided standard deviation, which is negative 1 lah. And then here is z, and then here is standard deviation division, which is 1, right? So what it means is, basically you are finding the probability for region in between negative 1 and 1. Okay, so what this means is, you are finding the area between negative 1 and 1, okay, for z value, right? And the way to find it is, you have to take 1 minus, because the region, okay, the way I teach my student is, if your shaded region got cross over the axis like this, the other cross over the vertical axis, you have to take 1 minus. So 1 is the total probability of the whole thing, and then you minus one with the one yang you tamau lah. So the one you tamau is this part and this part. So you have to take 1 minus pz smaller than negative 1, right? Yeah, because you don't want, that's why you find it so that you can minus, you can potong there. And then the other side that you don't want is pz bigger than 1, which is this part of the curve. Okay, z smaller negative can change to z bigger positive, because this bell shape is symmetrical. So smaller negative can change to bigger positive. And this one is already bigger positive, so you just leave it. And now you can just baca the jadwal, and then masuk the nilai, and then you get the answer. Okay, I will go to my z value table now. But this one, you have to baca dari luar. So this is your z value table. And your z value, you have the z value. So when you have the z value, you baca dari luar. So you just find 1.00 and then dapat jawapan dia. Okay. So that is the value, but dalam sini, that is your answer. That is the probability. ataupun the area. Okay, let's go to the bell shape. I mean the Z value table, and then we look for 1.00. So 1.00 is at here and here. So the value is 0.1587. Okay. So let's go back there and write down this. And what is this? This is the probability. Okay, probability. Okay, but I know the K is in percentage, right? Okay, but later we can convert one. So 0.1587. This one also 0.1587. So now we tekan all this, then we will get the answer. So let me press times 2. Okay, my calculator give me 0.6826, right? But we cannot say that the K is 0.68 because K is in percent. So K is in percent. So the value of K here will be 0.68286 times 100, which is 68.26%. Okay. So remember how to convert. Okay, I told you already, probability and percentage is like linked together. They are connected one. So how to convert decimal to percentage? You just times 100. That's all. Yeah. So how to convert decimal to percentage? Just times 100. So when you times 100, you get 68.26%. So the value of K is 68.26. That is the answer. Okay. Okay, I know at first I told you it's 68, right? So yeah, the reason why I know this is because it's in the textbook. If you go to the textbook, it's actually given, they actually give you the value for kalau shaded region in between mean plus 1 standard deviation, mean minus 1 standard deviation, and then for mean plus 2 standard deviation, mean, they actually give you the value already, right? That's why I know it's 68, right? But if you do this working, you get approximately roughly same also lah. Okay, so if you ask me why is it 68, then this is the reason lah. Okay, another way to explain this is you can just tukar your mean to 0, standard deviation is 1. It means this mean you jadikan dia kosong. Okay, mean jadikan kosong, and then standard deviation is 1. So now what happens? This mean become kosong, and then this one become kosong tambah satu, satu lah, and this one become negative 1. So basically you are finding the probability for region in between negative 1 and 1. And then the rest, all the working is same like that lah. And you will end up with the same probability or same percentage. Okay. Okay, so that's how I would explain it, right? Okay, I know it's only worth 1 marks, right? But I want to explain it lah. Okay, I want to explain it like why is it 68? Okay. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let's continue. Number B, sketch the standard. Let's go to the notes. Standard. So this is standard normal distribution, right? So where you should draw your vertical axis later, right in the middle, right in the middle. It means your mean will be 0 lah. Okay, so sketch the standard normal distribution graph representing this. Hence, find the probability. So just draw a bell shape, and then draw the horizontal axis first, followed by the vertical axis, and the vertical axis should cut right in the middle because this is already standardized. So, and this is the FZ. Okay, FZ. This is the Z, and they want you to sketch the standard representing this, right? Okay, where's the Z value? Negative 0.2. Okay, this Z value, this will be 0. So when the Z value negative 0.2 is somewhere here, positive 0.2 is here. Okay, so just buat satu line macam ni. Okay, and since they want in between, right? So I think I have to shade the region. Yeah, shade the region to represent that the area they want ataupun the probability they want. So this is actually what they want. Okay. Okay, now they says find the probability. Okay, I think you can use the same method I show you just now. Just take 1 minus the two parts that you don't want. Okay. And why you take 1 minus is because your shaded region is like already crossed over the vertical axis. That's why you have to take 1 minus. Okay, so it becomes okay, probability for negative 0.2, Z 0.2. Okay, no need to convert Z value already. This is already Z value. So straight away 1 minus PZ smaller than negative 0.2, which is this one. Okay, I'm finding it because I want to minus. Saya mau buang dia mah. Saya mau tolak dia lah. And then PZ bigger than 0.2. Okay, now it becomes 1 minus. Smaller negative can change to bigger positive because this is symmetrical. So smaller negative 0.2 is the same as bigger positive. And then this one is already bigger positive. So later can tengok jadual lah. So sekarang boleh baca jadual, dapatkan nilai sini, and then dapatlah jawapan. Okay, when you baca jadual, you have to baca dari luar or baca dari dalam. Okay, when you have the Z value and you are trying to find the area, you always baca dari luar. So you just find 0.20 and then get this value right here. That is the answer. So I will go to the the jadwal. So I need 0.2. So let's find it. So this is z value. Okay, the outside part is z value. 0.2 is here. 0. So this is the answer. 0.4207. So this is the area or the probability. Probability and area is the same thing. In this, under this topic, yeah, probability and area is like same thing. So 0.4207 is the area, or you is also the probability. Okay. Okay, so now wait, 1 minus minus, then dapat lah jawapan. Okay, what's the answer? 0.1586. My calculator give me 0.1586. So dah siap lah, ini jawapan dia. Okay, let's continue number 8. So this is also probability distribution chapter. Okay, this question is probability distribution. Okay, let's do number 8. So number 8 is a probability distribution question. Okay, but this one is a binomial distribution because this graph only appears in binomial distribution. And kalau binomial distribution, we don't have to use the Z value table. Okay, let's read the question first. A survey of influenza vaccination among children was conducted in a town. Okay, it is found that the probability of children who took the influenza vaccine is P. Okay, so the probability of success is probability yang ada ambil vaksin influenza. Diagram 8 shows a group of shows a graph of binomial distribution for the sample of 3 children chosen at random. Okay, when we are doing binomial distribution, we need to determine the NPQ. Okay, ya, kalau dia soalan yang binomial distribution punya, we have to determine the NPQ, right? Okay, so the N is given already 3. So the N is 3. So later the A says find value of T, right? Okay, sebenarnya nak cari T senang saja because they already give you the x-axis. This is the x value, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Why it stops at 3 is because the N is 3. So the x-axis value only have 0, 1, 2, 3 sajalah. And then the y-axis, these are the probability. Okay, the probability answer. T, 60, 80, ini semua probability jawapan, right? So they say find value of T. Okay, when you take the probability answer semua tambah together, you will get 1. Okay, you will get 1. So to find T, you just take 12T plus 8T plus 6T plus 1T equals to 1. And then to find T, you just buat sajalah. So T dengan T boleh tambah. So 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 7, 27T is equals to 1. So T is 1 over 27. It means that this is 1 over 27. This is 6 over 27. This is 8T, which is 8 over 27. And then this is 12 over 27. Okay, I know this number can simplify. Dia boleh bahagi 3 kan? But I don't want to simplify. Okay, yeah, I know you can divide 3 like that, right? But I don't want to simplify. I'll just leave it like this. Okay, so sekarang sudah siap A, sekarang boleh buat B. So B says if there are 630 children in the town, find the standard deviation of the number of children who took the influenza vaccine. Okay, in binomial distribution, you actually learn about the standard deviation formula, and the formula is square root NPQ, like this. But you need to have your N, your P, and your Q. So the N for B will be 630. Yeah, 630. But the P and Q actually I don't have. Okay, because the P represents probability of influenza. Yang ada ambil influenza vaccine. Okay, because P is the probability of success, right? So P is actually the probability of children who took the influenza vaccine. And saya tak ada tau P. Tak ada. Okay. So what I have to do now is to find PQ first. Then baru saya boleh masuk dalam formula ni. Okay. So how to find PQ? Okay, if you refer your graph, they got give us the information, right? So they give us the first information, Px equals 0 equals to 1 over 37. It means that the probability of 0 success, 0 yang ambil vaccine is 1 over 37. And then they also give us the probability of yang satu ambil vaccine saja is 6 over 37. And then they also give you Px equals 2, 12 over 27. And they also give us the Px equals 3, right? Which is 8 over 27, right? But which one of these will you use to find the P and Q? Okay, I recommend you use this one or you use this one. Okay, why you use this one is because later you will use this formula Px equals x equals to npx and then ncx, sorry. So the formula is ncx, p power x, q power n minus x. This is the formula that we learn in the binomial distribution. And this formula is used to find probability. Okay, and when you use this formula, we usually use it to find probability, but it's a different case now because I already have the probability answer, I'm trying to find back the PQ. That is why I said I recommend you use this one or this one. Why? Because when you use this one, then later you can potong. But if you use the Px equals 1, Px equals 2, it's a bit difficult because you cannot potong. Okay. Okay, let me just show you what I mean by that. So try to choose the Px equals 0 or 3, because it will be easier. Okay. Okay, let me show you why it's easier. So I'll just I'll just start with the Px equals 0 lah. I'll use this to find the PQ. Actually, you want to use Px equals 3 also can. Okay. But I already decide I want to use the Px equals 0. So let me show you how I'll do it. So what you will do, you use the formula, right? So it becomes NCX, NC0, right? But the N is 3. Yeah, the N is 3. Okay. So it becomes 3C0 and then bracket. This probability of success P will be 1 over. No, no. The probability of success is P. And I'm trying to find P. And then this is probability of failure Q. I don't have also. And the power here is same with the power down here, which is 0. And then atas minus atas, 3 minus 0 is 3. And then 1 over 27. So what is 3C0? 1. Okay. Yeah, 3C0 is 1. And then P power 0 is also 1. So you just left with Q power 3 is 1 over 27. So what is Q? You pindah the kuasa 3 jadi punca kuasa 3. Okay. So you will get 1 over 3. Right. And if the Q is 1 over 3, what is P? Okay. The probability of the P and Q when you tambah together mesti dapat satu one. So you already get Q to get P just 1 minus 1 over 3 to get the other probability. So this is your P. Okay. So now you understand, right, why I said use the Px equals 0 to find the PQ. Because you can potong. Imagine if this one is Px equals 1, right? Then your P is still there, your Q is still there. Then it's like a bit hard to find it, right? You want it. So the reason why I said choose Px equals 0 ataupun Px equals 3 is because you can potong the whole P or the whole Q. That is why I do it like this. Okay, sekarang sudah dapat PQ, bolehlah cari standard deviation. So standard deviation equals to square root and PQ. But this n you have to masuk the one yang dia bagi dekat B sini, 630. And then multiply with PQ, which is 2 over 3, and then multiply 1 over 3. Okay. Okay, boleh potong kan? 630 divide 3 is 210. 210. So you just press 210 times 2 divide 3. Right? So let me press. Okay, my calculator give me 140. But I have to square root, right? Okay, I forgot to square root. Okay, the answer is 11.83. Okay, so yeah, that's the answer. This is the standard deviation. Okay, 11.83. Okay, done. Okay, let's continue. Let's do number 9 now. So number 9, this looks like a permutation and combination question. Yeah, P and C punya bab. Okay, so let's read the question. A group of mentor consists of 7 students to be formed. So I want to choose 7 students. So what is my option here? If there are 10 female, 8 male, calculate number of ways the groups can be formed such that the number of male students is even. So we are only choosing to form the group. So the arrangement is not important here. We have to we have to use combination. We have to use C. Okay. Yeah, because we are only just choosing a group of mentor. Okay. So we use P or C, we use C lah. Because you're only choosing to masuk group saja. The order is not important. Susunan tak penting. So we just use C to do. So we got 10 female, 8 male. So in total got 18, right? Got 18. So if you want to take from 18 choose 7, the number of ways is 18C7. Kalau no condition lah. Kalau no condition. If no condition, the answer will be 18C7. What is the meaning of no condition? It means semua male pun boleh, semua lelaki pun boleh, semua perempuan pun boleh, campur pun boleh, apa pun boleh. That's the meaning of uh, no condition. But if you look at this question, they got say that there is a condition. They said number of ways the form shows that number of male student is even. Maksudnya bilangan lelaki kena nombor genap. So from 7 students, how many lelaki do you think? Okay, so if you want it to be even number is like 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. All these numbers is nombor genap. So you can only have 2 boys, 4 boys, 6 boys, 8 boys like that. Okay, nombor genap. So imagine you have 2 boys, or mean 2 male. So 2 male means nak cukupkan 7 kena tambah lagi berapa? 5 lagi orang kan? Because I want to make it 7 in total, right? So if 2 male, you will go with 5 female. Okay? Yeah, because I want to cukupkan 7 orang. Ataupun 4 male. But if 4 male, how nak cukupkan 7 kena tambah lagi 3 female lah. So that the total is 7 members. And then kalau 6 male, nak cukupkan 7, you'll be 1 female, right? Okay, what about 8 mil? Okay, 8 mil is not possible lah because you only want to choose 7 saja. So ini saja option yang ada, right? So now we just have to open 3 bracket and then cari semua ni lah. And remember, later have to plus all these answers together. Okay, the first option is 2 male, 5 female. So 2 male, 5 females. We have 8 male and we choose 2. So 8 choose 2. And then from 10 female choose 5. So 10 C5 and then times them together. Next, 4 male, 3 female. Okay, from 8 male, I want to choose 4. So 8 C4. From 10 female, choose 3. So 10 C3 times. Okay, the last one. From 8 male, choose 6 male, 8 C6. And then 10 female, choose 1. So 10 C1. And then just tekan ini semua lah. Okay, let me press 8C2 times 10C5 plus 8C4 times 10C3 plus 8C6 times 10. Okay, my calculator give me 15736. So that is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's continue. Okay, soalan B. A group of mentor that was formed consisting of 4 male, 3 female students are arranged in a row for photography session. So you see the keyword here, arranged, right? So we use P or C for this question. We will use P, permutation, because arranged and it's for photography session. So when you terbalikkan tempat duduk dua orang, the photo will come out different, right? So the order is important. The arrangement susunan dia penting. So when the order is important, we will use P, permutation. So number 1 says find number of different ways the students can be arranged randomly without any restriction. It means no condition. So kalau no condition nak susun satu baris, just ambil, okay, because they said got 4 male, 3 female. So we have 7 lah. So we have 7 and 7 orang nak duduk dekat satu baris, tak ada condition, right? No condition. So it's 7P7 lah. Or you can say 7 factorial. Okay. And if you tekan this, you get 5040. And that's the answer. Okay. Okay, let's do number 2 now. The head mentor will be chosen from male students and the assistant of the head mentor will be chosen from female students. Okay. And then if the head mentor is Ryan and the assistant of the head mentor is Maria, find number of different ways all the students can be arranged according to their gender such that the position between Ryan and Maria is separated by at least 4 other students. Okay, it means for this question, dia ada condition dia. Condition dia kata apa, mesti head mentor and what mentor kena apa? Separated by at least 4 other students. Okay. Kalau nak faham ni, I will draw. Saya akan buat 7 kotak, 7 slot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And dia cakap tadi, the head mentor will be chosen from male students, assistant head mentor will be chosen from female, and the head mentor from male is Ryan, and the assistant of the head mentor is Maria. So Ryan is a male, and he's the head. Okay, and then Maria is the female, the assistant of head mentor. And then find number of different ways all the students can be arranged such that the position between Ryan and Maria is separated by at least 4 other students. Okay, so you need to separate Ryan and Maria. It means Ryan and Maria, they cannot sit near together. There has to be a gap between Ryan and Maria, and it has to be like at least 4 other students, separate them. So let's assume that Ryan sit here, right? So where should the Maria sit? Can the Maria sit here? Cannot, because I have to at least 4. At least 4 means sekurang-kurangnya 4 student. So it has to be 4 or more student that separate Ryan and Maria. So we will count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Maria must sit here. Okay. If the Ryan sit here lah. But this is not the only possibility. Dia boleh juga Ryan sini, Maria sini pun boleh kan? Sebab dia cakap at least 4 mah. So this is also one of the case, right? But actually ada lagi. Boleh juga Ryan duduk sini and you kira lah 1, 2, 3, 4 and then Maria duduk sini. Possible juga, right? Okay, what about Ryan duduk sini? Okay, I don't think Ryan can duduk sini because Ryan duduk sini it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 then Maria is like tak ada tempat for Maria already. So I think this is the only 3 ways. But wait, hold on a minute. What about Maria sit here? Possible juga kan? So this thing dia boleh flip juga. So R dengan M boleh terbalik juga, where the Maria sit sebelah kiri, Ryan sit sebelah kanan. Possible juga kan? So what I will do now is saya tak payah kira satu per satu macam ni tau. Saya tak payah buat satu-satu macam ni. You can just kira satu macam ni and then darab 3 times 3, right? Because the number of ways The number of ways for this possibility is the same with the number of ways for the second and the third one. Dia sama. So you tak payah kira semua, just kira satu saja, and then times 3 terus. Okay. So for this, Ryan want to sit here. So this is 1P1. Okay. Because you only have one Ryan, right? And only one will go in here. So 1P1. Then what about this? Okay, this one is all males. Tak semesti male kan? Ya, tak semesti male. So this one will be oh wait. Okay, let's not do this one first. So we already know this one is 1P1, right? 1P1. Okay, wait So this one is 1P1. This one is also 1P1 for the Maria spot, right? And then this 4 will be what? Let me think. We have 7, right? Uh, how many option we have just now? 4 male, 3 female. So we have 4 males, 3 female. 4 male, 3 female. The head mentor will oh, they got say according to their gender, right? Yeah, according to their gender. That means if Ryan sits here, then this 4 must be male lah. Correct ah? So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I want it to be according to gender. So I think I have to be male like this. This three has to be male lah. Correct ah? Because you have 4 male, right? So Ryan sudah masuk sini. So ada lagi male sini. So Ryan already sit at here. So tinggal 3 male. So out of the 3 male, the 3 male have to arrange here in this tree. Okay. So it'll be 3P3, right? Times with 3P3. So this one is 3P3. Okay. And then for this, it would be the 3 female. But since the 3 female, satu Maria sudah duduk middle sini, tinggal 2. So the 2, it will be 1 here lah. So it will be 2P2 times with 2P2 like this, right? And after you calculate all this, oh, actually there's another 1P1 here, right? So it will be 1P1 times 3P3 times with the 2 female to masuk here, 2P2, and then has 1P1. And when you kira this, you will get 36. Sorry, you get 12. Okay, you get 12. And if you calculate for this next one, you get 12 also. Okay, let me show you why. Because here is also 1P1, here is also 1P1, right? So sama dengan tadi, 1P1, 1P1. And then, since this is Ryan, then the next 3 has to be male already. Because you have 4 male ma. So you have to arrange according gender. So this must be male. So that's why it's 3P3 also. And then this one is also 2P2. So you can see it's the same thing. So if you malas, you don't have to do everything again. And then for the third one also, it will be the same also. It will be 1P1 times 1P1 and then 3P3 and then 2P2. Yeah, it's the same. So you will just take this whole thing, this 12 times with 3. But I told you just now, it can also be Maria on the left side, Ryan on the right side, right? So you have to times 2. Okay? Sebenarnya ada lagi 3 possibilities ini. Dia boleh jadi RM ataupun MR like this. So sebenarnya ada 6 lah. It means you have to take this 12 times 6. Yeah, times 6 because there's 6 of this, right? So that's how you do it. Or you can just write 12 times 3 times 2 like this. Okay. Okay, if you tekan this, you'll get 72. That means you have 72 ways, okay, to arrange. Okay. All right. Hope you understand. So that's all. All right, let's continue. Number 10. So this is a rectangular carpet with a width of 6 minus square root 2 meter has an area of 114 minus 36 square root 2 meter square. Okay, I will draw it out just to make sure we understand it easily. Okay, so this is a rectangle. The width is the lebar. So the lebar is 6 minus square root 2 meter. And then the area of the rectangle is 114 minus 36 square root 2 meter square. And we all know to get the area of rectangle, we have to take the length times width. Or you can say panjang darab lebar, right? Okay, they say express the length in meter of the carpet in the form of A plus B square root 2, such that A and B are constant. Hence, state the ratio of length to width of the carpet. So the first part of the question asks us to find length. Second part asks us to state ratio of length to width. Okay, first kita kena cari length dulu lah. Length is the panjang. So the length kita tak tahu. The length is from here to here. So let's call it x. Let's call it x. So how do you find x? How do you find the length? Well, it's very simple. You just take the area 114 minus 3 square root 2, divide with the width 6 minus square root 2. Okay, kenapa divide? Why divide? Because this is the area and this is the width, right? This is the area, this is width. And how you get area is to take length times width. Maksudnya, when you take x darab 6 minus square root 2, you dapat 114 minus 3 square root 2. That's why to get x, you take area bahagi lah. So now you just have to divide. Okay, I tertinggal satu benda here. This is 36, not 3. Okay, so saya silap sini ya. So let me betulkan. This one is 114 minus 36 square root 2. So sini pun 36 square root 2. Okay, now we can start to find x. Okay, of course you cannot write your answer like this because they got say they want in this form a plus b square root 2. Okay, let me tell you how do you change from this to this. So how do you change from this form to this form? You have to rationalize the denominator. You kena rationalize. What is rationalize? It means you hilangkan square root dekat bawah fraction sini. Okay, so what you have to do now is to hilangkan square root dekat bawah sini. Okay, and the process is called rationalize. And how do you rationalize? How do you hilangkan square root dekat bawah sini? You have to darab with the conjugate cert. So kalau bawah dia 6 minus square root 2, the conjugate cert will be 6 plus square root 2. Yeah. So atas pun kena darab benda yang sama, right? And if you ask me why I have to darab with 6 plus square root 2, is because I'm trying to get rid of the square root at the denominator. Okay, kenapa kita darab dengan ni? Sebab kita nak hilangkan square root dekat bawah sini. Okay, so atas pun kena darab, bawah pun kena darab, benda yang sama lah. And believe me, once you darab, you will realize that the square root will hilang dekat bawah. And if you don't believe me, you can keep watching and then you will know. So I'll show you now. So 6 times 6 will be 36, right? So I take bawah darab bawah first. 6 times 6 is 36. Next one is 6 times square root 2. But I know 6 times square root 2 is 6 square root 2. And then the next one is negative square root 2 times 6, which is negative 6 square root 2. So 6 square root 2 minus 6 square root 2 is 0. So you can skip this part because they become 0 already. So the last part is just negative square root 2 times square root 2, which is negative 2. So as you can see, the square root already hilang dekat bawah. You just left with like a number, right? Okay, sekarang atas darab atas. So the cara betul is 114 times 6 first. If you tekan your calculator, you get 684, right? Next one is 114 times square root 2, which is 114 square root 2. And then this one is negative 36 square root 2 times 6. Tapi number hanya boleh darab number saja. So negative 36 times 6, negative 216. And then nothing will happen to the square root 2. So just tulis tepi saja. Okay, next one. Negative 36 square root 2 times square root 2. Okay, number hanya boleh darab number, square root hanya boleh darab square root. So the negative 36, nothing will happen. But the square root 2 boleh darab dengan square root 2 dapat 2. But make sure you put bracket like this. Okay. Okay, so sekarang X sama dengan berapa? 36 minus 2 is 34. And then I know the 684 boleh minus dengan 36 times 2, right? Yeah, so I can just press in my calculator and then I will get 612. Then what about these middle two terms? Okay, these middle two terms, they both have square root 2. They both have square root 2. So what you can do is, you can jadikan square root 2 ni macam A lah. So it means it becomes 114A minus 216A. Yeah, because they both have square root 2 mah. So it's like you just jadikan dia A. So jadikan square root 2 ni, jadikan dia A. So 114A minus 216A. So if you press calculator 114 minus 216, they'll give you negative 102. So it's negative 102A, but the A is actually square root 2 like this, right? So now you sudah berjaya rationalize. You already hilangkan square root dekat bawah fraction sini. Tapi dia nak jawapan dalam bentuk ni. They want the answer to be in this form, A plus B square root 2. So I think I should pecahkan my fraction. Because now everything jumbled up together. You can see that in this form, there's no denominator here. There's no, how to say, there's no fraction here lah. So how can we make it supaya dia jadi form ni is we have to separate. Because now everything is jumbled up together. So what we can do is separate like this. Like this, like this. Okay. And when you separate, you have to make sure bawah ada satu term baru boleh buat macam ni tau. So yeah, the denominator only have one term, then only you can do like that. So it becomes 612 over 34. And then on the other side, it become 102 over square root, over 34. And the square root 2, you can write in the middle like this. Yeah, when you write here means dia atas punya. Okay. Okay, now we can simplify this. Simply just press 612 divided 34, you get 18. 102 divided 34, you get 3. and then the square root 2 just right here. As you can see, this is already, my answer already looks like this, a plus b square root 2, and that's what they want, right? So you can see that the a is 18, and then your b is like -3. Okay, okay, but the soalan never ask you to find ab. They just want you to write answer in this form. So I think sudah siap already. So now you just write meters saja lah, because this is length, right? So I'll just write length is equals to 18 minus 3 square root 2, and then bracket, bracket, meter. Okay, because they asked us to find length, right? So sudah siap lah. Okay, now there's still one more thing they wanted us to find. They want to find ratio of length to width of the carpet. So ratio is like nisbah lah. Okay, so macam mana nak cari dia punya nisbah? So first kita tahu dah length and width punya apa? Punya uh, meter, right? So length in meter is 18 minus 3 square root 2. And then width punya, because they want length ratio width, right? So length ratio width. So what I will do is I will ambil length bahagi width. Or ambil length bahagi width. Sebab saya mau length ratio width, right? So this is equivalent to length bahagi width like this. Okay. So nisbah means like bahagi one. Okay, so width punya panjang 6 minus square root 2. And then now I just have to simplify this, and then I will get the ratio. Okay. Okay, sebenarnya square root 2 and square root 2 ni tak boleh potong. Tak boleh potong. Okay, what you have to do is you have to factorize. Okay, so 6 minus square root 2, nothing you can factorize, so don't do anything. But 18 and 3 you can factorize, right? You can 18 and 3 square root 2, both these two terms, they both can divide by 3. So let's do that. 18 divided 3 is 6. Negative 3 square root 2, when you take out the 3, when you divide 3, you left with negative square root 2. And I realized when you do that, the 6 minus square root 2 and 6 minus square root 2 can potong. So you just left with 3 over 1. Right? 3 over 1. So now what is the ratio? The ratio of length to width is 3 ratio 1. So hence take the ratio of length to width. So 3 ratio 1. But at the same time, I will also write the answer for the first part. Okay, so I will write length. Length is, because this is also one of the kehendak soalan, right? The soalan also requests us to find this. So it's better for me to write this. Okay, write this in my final answer, and then baru tulis the ratio. So I'll just write here comma 3 ratio 1 like this. Okay, so they want to find length, so that's cari, and then want to find ratio of length to width, it's 3 ratio 1 lah. Okay, all right, so that's it. Okay, let's continue. Number 11. So this is a progression question. Janjang punya soalan. So they say listing out all the terms of the sequence is not accepted. Okay, boleh. A, it is given that the first term and common difference of an arithmetic are 5 and -3. So they already give it away already. They already tell you it's an arithmetic progression AP. So later we can only use the AP formula. Don't use the GP formula. First term is 5. So the symbol we use is A. Or you want to use T1 also can. A and T1 is the same thing. Common difference -3. So the symbol for common difference is D, and then -3. So I want to make sure you really understand this. What this means is the first term is 5, and the second term will be 5 minus 3, 2, and the next term is 2 minus 3, -1, and it keeps going. Okay, this is what it means by A equals 5, D equals -3. The progression will look like this. Okay, dia start dengan 5, and then tolak 3, tolak 3, tolak 3, keeps going lah. Okay, number 1 says express Tn in terms of n. So guna formula Tn lah. Formula dia adalah A plus n minus 1D. This is the formula for Tn in arithmetic progression. Okay. Okay, but they say in terms of n, right? You know why? Because they never give you the n. Tapi A dengan D ada mah. So A dengan D masuk lah. Tapi n tak ada. So n tu you tulis n je. So Tn equals A, which is 5 plus n. But the n don't have all. So how? No problem, because they say can be in terms of n. It means tak ada orang suruh you cari n pun. Tak apa, tak payah cari, just masuk, tulis n saja. And then the D is -3, tulis macam ni. And don't forget this -3 and the n minus 1 is like a times, have to multiply. Okay, you have to multiply. So when you multiply -3 times n is -3n, positive 3. So you end up with 8 minus 3n. That means to get the Tn, you just have to what 8 minus 3n. Itu maksud dia. Okay. Okay, let's do B. So I mean B pula. I mean the A2 lah. A2. Okay, A2 says, hence find two consecutive terms such that the sum of both terms is -23. What is the meaning of consecutive? Berterusan ataupun berturutan. So if I say term number 64 and term 65, this is the meaning of consecutive. 64, 65, right? Or you can say 52, 53. This is also consecutive, right? But if I say 52 plus 55, then it's not consecutive, because after 52 should be 53, not 55. Understand, right? So consecutive is like the number berturutan lah ataupun berterusan. Okay, it's like continuous. So they are asking you which of these two terms, which of these two consecutive terms within this progression, the sum will be negative 23. Itu maksudnya, right? And since we don't know which term is it, I'll just call it n, right? But since it's consecutive, the term right after will be tn plus 1, right? So for example, if this is 67, this is 68, right? Yeah, because 67 plus 1, right? It's always consecutive, right? Or let's say if this is 13, then this is 14 lah. 13 plus 1, 14, t 14, right? But since we don't know whether it's like 13 or 67 or whatever, so that's why I call it n. And they want the sum to be negative 23, right? So this is what you do. Tn plus 1 equals negative 23. And then now you just apply the Tn formula. Masukkan AD semua tu and then bolehlah cari n. So the Tn formula is A plus n minus 1d. The A masuk 5, the D dah masuk negative 3, right? But if you malas, you can straight away ambil ini terus. Because this is Tn mah, right? Because if you sub the A and D, you will get the same also. And since you already did it just now, why not you just straight away, okay, if you want to do fast, straight away just refer here. So Tn is 8 minus 3n, just masuk saja. And then for the Tn plus 1 also, if you lazy to masuk the AD sekali lagi, tak payah masuk lagi, straight away tengok sini. Okay, straight away masuk 8 minus 3n, but of course this time, the n have to replace with n plus 1 lah, because your n is n plus 1. Okay, and then equals to negative 23. And now you solve this, you get your n. So 8 minus 3n plus with, okay, ini 8 minus 3 tak boleh buat dulu. You tak boleh buat 8 minus 3, 5 macam ni, salah tau. Because you have to do multiply first. You have to do bracket first. So the 8 cannot do first. Negative 3 times n, negative 3n, negative 3, ini cara betul. Okay, okay, there is a bracket here, and then equals negative 23. Okay, now we can open all the brackets. Yeah, we can remove all the bracket because it's a plus, right? So when plus, like, no need to worry about it. Just buka bracket terus. So negative 3n minus 3n is negative 6n. 8 plus 8 is 16 minus 3 is 13 equals to negative 23. And to get n, I just have to pindah saja lah. So let's pindah 13. Plus 13 jadi negative 13. So negative 23 minus 13 is negative 36. So n is equals to negative divide negative positive. 36 divide 6 is 6. But this is not the answer. This is only the position of the terms. Ataupun this is the kedudukan. Yeah. So the n6 is trying to tell you that the 6th term and the 7th term, because this n is referring to this n, right? So it means that the 6th term and the 7th term, the sum is negative 23. But look at the soalan. The soalan tak suruh cari the position of the term. Dia suruh cari the exact two consecutive terms that the sum is negative 23. It means I still haven't finished yet. I still have to find my T6 and my T7. So my jawapan would be the T6 and the T7. And what I will do is I'll just sub into this formula. 8 minus 3n to get the T6. And then this one to get T7, 8 minus 3 times 7. So if you press this, you will get the answer, negative 10. If you press this, 8 minus 21, I think it's negative 13. Yeah. So now we can write our answer. So what are the two consecutive terms? Find the two consecutive terms. It will be negative 10 and negative 13. Right? And if you try to take the sum, you try to ambil dua nombor ni tambah, memang betul you dapat negative 23. Yeah. That's how you know you get it correct lah. That's how you know that you sudah betul, right? Because the sum of these two terms memang dapat negative 23. So that's all. Alright, there's another question here, B. So it's still progression. We are still doing Janjan punya soalan. Tapi B tak related dengan A lah. This one is like, even though it's the same question, but they are not related. Okay, so diagram 9 shows cards labeled with odd number arranged consecutively. So let's observe the diagram first. So we have box 1, we have an odd number here. Odd number is nombor ganjil. Nombor ganjil is like 1, 3, 5, semua tu lah. Okay, so box 1 ada satu saja card, nilai 1, 1. Kotak 2 ada 2 card, label 3 dengan 5. Kotak 3 ada 7, 9, 11. So I think I can guess the kotak 4 already lah. Right, let's try to guess the box 4. What's inside the box 4? There should be 4 cards and it should be the next 4 odd numbers, which is 13, 15, 17, 19. So I think you get the idea. Box 1 have 1 card, box 2 have 2 cards, box 3 have 3 cards, box 4 have 4 cards, box 5 have 5 cards, box 6 have 6 cards, and so on, right? But the cards label, we will all label with the odd numbers. Right? Okay, so now I understand the diagram. Now let's see what they want here. Determine the total number of cards in the first 20 boxes. So they want you to determine total number of cards, right? So we all know The first box have one card. The second box have 2 cards. Third box have 3 cards. The fourth box have 4 cards. So boleh tak saya terus tulis 20 box, saya terus tulis 20 cards. Salah. Salah. Why salah? Because read carefully the question. Dia punya soalan bukan nak cari number of cards in the 20th box tau. The soalan asks for total. There's a word here, total number of cards in the first 20 box. In other words, what they want is actually 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 until plus 20. This is what they want actually. Because they want the total number of cards in the first 20 box. It means dia bukan sahaja mau cut number of cards dekat box ke-20. Dia nak jumlah dari box 1 sampai box 20. They want the total. So what you should do is, of course, you can do it like this: 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus, until plus 20, right? But it's like, I don't recommend it lah. There is a better way to write your working. Let me show you. You use progression formula. You use the SN formula. So what I'll write here is I will form a progression using the number of cards. So number of cards. So in the box, in the first box, there is 1 card. Next box has 2 card, 3 card, 4 card. Keep going until forever lah. So you can see that this forms an arithmetic progression where the A is 1, the D is also 1, because every time you just plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So to get the total number of cards in the first 20 box, you find S20. Bukan T20. I told you already why is it not 20. If you find T20, you are finding the number of cards in the kotak, the 20th box only. You're only finding the number of cards in the 20th box only. Okay, and the answer would be 20. The T20 would be 20, and it's wrong. What they want is the total. So you have to accumulate all the 20 number of cards, add together. Okay, so the formula for Sn in arithmetic is n over 2 big bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Ini formula dia. So we have to use this formula now. So it will be 20 over 2 big bracket 2a, which is 1 plus n minus 1, 20 minus 1, 19 times d. So this is what you get now. 20 divided 2 is 10, 2 plus 19, I think it's 21 times 10, 210. That means the sum ataupun the total number of cards in the first 20 box all add together is 210. So ini cara betul. Okay, let's do number 2 pula. Hence find the sum of all numbers on the cards. Oh, ini maksud lain. Bukan sum of number of cards. Dia sum of all numbers on the card. Hasil tambah bagi semua nombor pada kad-kad tersebut. It means they are not asking you to find the sum of number of cards. They actually find the sum of all numbers on the cards. It means they are asking the exact number label or the exact labeling on the cards. So we are not taking the bilangan kad tambah. Kita bukan ambil 1 plus 2 plus 3, bukan dah. Kita ambil 1 plus 3 plus 5, like the number labeling on the card. So what I have to do now is I have to form a new progression. Oh, excuse me. I cannot use this progression already because this progression is for the number of cards. So now I have to form another progression using the odd numbers. Yeah, I have to form a new progression using the odd numbers because all these cards are labeled with odd numbers. So the first term will be 1, 3, 5, and then dot, 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 right? Okay, but if I write like this, then my A is still 1, but my D is 2 already. Because every time you plus 2, right? You want to get to the next term, you have to plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, and so on. Okay, now the problem comes already. They want to find sum of all numbers on the cards, right? So I have to find S berapa. Confirm is S already, right? Because you want to find sum, right? But S, how many? Okay, the answer will be S 210. Okay, let me tell you why. Because if they want sum of all numbers on the cards, it means 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11, but you have to keep going until how many? Until 210 lah. You know why? Because in question 1, you already find out the total number of cards in the first 20 box. So it means this will keep on going until 210. Yeah, the last term is 210. Okay, because there's 20 box. There's 20 box. So box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, there's 20 box. But 20 box doesn't mean 20 cards. 20 box means 210 cards. Because I do it in number 1 just now. That is why when you write like this, 1, 3, 5, it's actually, how to say? There's actually 210 terms. That's why you find S 210. Okay, hopefully you understand. Now use the SN formula. N over 2, so 210 over 2, big bracket 2a plus n minus 1, D. Okay, n minus 1 will be 210 minus 1, which is 209 lah. And then times with D2, and then the A here is 1 like this. Right? Okay, now we just have to tekan calculator. Dapat ni, dapatlah jawapan. 209 divided by 2. 209 divided by 2 is 209. 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 209 di So the answer 210 divided 2 is 105. And then 2 plus 209 times 2 is 420. And then when you multiply, you get 44100. Okay, so let's have. Okay, let's do number 12. This looks like a vector question to me. And to be more specific, is the coordinate vector. Or you can say the vector in Cartesian plane. Sebab dia ada IJ kan. And then dia ada bagi coordinate macam ni. Okay, let's read. Given point P is AB, boleh. Point Q is negative BA, okay. Such that A and B are constants. Okay, ini tak penting. Point P is in the first quadrant of the Cartesian plane with O as the origin. Okay, let's try to understand this first. So let's draw a Cartesian plane. Point P is in the first quadrant. First quadrant means this one, right? It means they put x coordinate positive, y coordinate pun positive. So x, y here. So point P is somewhere here. So the AB must be a positive value lah. Yeah, it must be a positive value because if it's in the first quadrant, then automatic this is positive, automatic this is positive, right? Okay, lepas tu nak cari apa? A says state the range of values of K if the unit vector in direction OP is Ki plus Mj and the K is not equals to 0. Okay, how to do this question? Uh, let's think about this. So we already know O, this is O, right? So they want to find unit vector. Unit vector of OP is Ki plus Mj, and they say K is not equals to 0. And we all know K is the value here, right? The value for I, and they want to state the range lah. Okay, so how do we do it? First of all, what is vector OP? What is vector OP in terms of IJ? O to P will be AI plus BJ, right? AI plus BJ. But since we already okay. So this is vector OP, right? AI plus BJ, but we don't know the value of A and B. So yeah, but I want you to know that this Ki plus Mj, this is the unit vector, right? It's not the vector, it's the unit vector. And what is unit vector? Unit vector is like one unit punya size. Yeah, it means like you're taking like one unit punya size. That's why you have to take this one, divide with the magnitude. Yeah, that's why the unit vector formula UV is always 1 over magnitude darab dengan dia punya vector in terms of IJ. So I still cannot compare this with this. I cannot compare. I have to find the unit vector. So the unit vector, the symbol for unit vector is like this. Dia ada topi macam ni lah. Okay, and the formula is take the vector bahagi with the magnitude, right? And the magnitude will be square root like Pythagoras theorem lah, square root A square plus B square, right? So this is the unit vector. But if you want to compare it to this, how? So I want to write down the range of values of K, right? So first of all, I know that the K cannot equal 0 because they already mentioned here, right? And the K is actually the number here. Okay, imagine A is positive, right? A is positive. B is also positive, right? Because it's in first quadrant. And then A is positive, B is positive here, right? So when you take positive number square, and you take positive number square, and then you square root, and then you square root the whole thing, of course it comes out positive, right? And since your A is also positive, positive divided positive is positive. So K must confirm be positive. It means K confirm is bigger than 0, right? Bigger than 0, right? But at the same time, K will be smaller than what? It will be smaller than 1. Let me explain why. Let me explain why, okay? Let me explain why. I will tell you why. So why is it will be smaller than 1 is because when you simplify this, you will get like this. A over square root A square plus B square I plus B over square root A square plus B square J, right? This is the unit vector, right? And I already know K must be bigger than 0 is because K is actually this whole thing right here, right? And I told you already why is it positive? Why is it bigger than 0? Because A is positive, A also positive, B also positive. So positive divided positive mesti positive, right? Dia takkan dapat kosong one, eh? Okay, now let's talk about why K has to be smaller than 1. It's because imagine this line right here. The A is the distance from here to here, right? Do you agree? Because the x coordinate is A, right? So the horizontal distance here is A. Then what about the vertical distance? The vertical distance is B, right? It means the panjang from here to here is B, and this is 90 degree. And do you remember just now you find the magnitude? And when you find magnitude, what you do? You do Pythagoras theorem, right? You do square root A square plus B square to get the OP punya magnitude. Okay, and let's call it C for now, right? So let me ask you, The right angle triangle look like this now. This is A, this is B, this is C. And this C is actually square root A square plus B square, right? Okay, now I want to ask you, which which of the side paling panjang? A, B, or C? C, right? Why C paling panjang? Because C is the hypotenuse. C is the side opposite 90 degree. So this side will be paling panjang. It means the nombor yang saya masuk bawah sini confirm will be bigger than A, and not only bigger than A, is also bigger than B, because out of the in the right angle triangle the hypotenuse is always the paling panjang one. So tell me, dalam fraction kalau nombor bawah lebih besar and nombor atas lebih kecil, what happens? You will get 0 point something lah. It means your answer will come out less than 1, right? So I repeat one more time. If the bawah punya number is bigger than the atas punya number, it means atas punya number lebih kecil. So for example, I put here 2, I put here 3, right? What will happen is you'll get 0 point something. It means it will always be less than or equals 1. Right? Or it's possible also to be same panjang, right? Is it possible? Yeah, I think it's possible. Okay. So okay lah. My point here is you just know that in fraction, if the atas punya number is smaller than the bawah punya number, it will be less than 1. Right? So if I give 3 over 7, also less than 1. If I give like 5 over 7, also less than 1. As long as the atas punya number is smaller than the bawah punya number. Yeah lah, makes sense ma. If you take 5 divide 7, of course you start with 0 point something one, must be less than 1, right? But if it's the other way, if it's the other way, where it's like the atas punya number lebih besar, then you know you will get more than 1 already, like 1 point something, right? Yeah, because the atas punya number lebih besar. It means you ambil nombor besar bahagi nombor kecil, right? Understand? So now I'll erase this. So now you understand why k has to be smaller than 1, because I already know the magnitude. The magnitude will be confirmed will be the lebih besar punya nilai. Yeah, it will have a bigger value, higher value. But the A will be definitely smaller than the magnitude one. That is why when you take a small number divide with the big number, you will never get more than 1. So I'll just write here K must be smaller, but I think it's possible to be equals 1 also. Yeah, and if it's equals to 1, then it becomes like this line and this line sama panjang lah. But it's possible also. Yeah, but it's not possible to be bigger than 1 lah. It's not possible because yeah, it's just not possible. Okay. So now we will combine these two into one answer. So k is bigger than 0, but at the same time k is smaller or equals 1. So in between lah. And then the 0 right here, the 1 right here. So this is the meaning. K is in between 0 and 1. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Now we can do B. B says if the unit vector in the direction of 3OP is this, find magnitude of 2OQ. Okay, I think I have to find unit vector of 3OP sekarang. Okay, so before you find unit vector, first of all, unit vector formula is this. 1 over magnitude times vector, right? But you need to find out the vector for 3OP first, right? So what is 3 times OP? Okay, OP is AI plus BJ, right? Okay, actually you want to write 3 times AI plus BJ boleh juga. But you can also write in another form, because we know that the IJ vector you can write like this also. Okay, same thing, right? It's the same thing. If you write like this means AI plus BJ. Okay, so when you darab masuk, you get 3A, 3B. Ataupun 3AI plus 3BJ. Okay, now to find the magnitude. Why find magnitude? Because later I need the unit vector. So to find magnitude of 3OP, you will use the magnitude formula, which is square root bracket square plus bracket square. And inside the bracket, you have to put the value before the IJ. And in this case, it's 3A, 3B lah. And when you do that, you will get 9A square plus 9B square. Okay, sampai sini, you can find the unit vector. You can find the unit vector. And the formula is, take this, the vector 3OP, divide with the magnitude, right? And then you compare with the unit vector yang dia bagi dekat sini, right? Because when you compare, you will get wait, they're asking you to find magnitude of 2OQ, right? Which is a different, okay, but I think I need to, okay, tak apa, kita buat dulu. Kita buat dulu and then see how, like, where it brings us, right? But I don't have A and B, right? Okay, tak apa, we do first. So we already know the unit vector is 502 AI plus BJ, right? Okay, we get our magnitude. So now we will take the vector 3A, 3B, okay, divide with this, right?
But if I divide like this, I will end up with like something like this: 3a over square root 9a square plus b square. And then another one is 3b over square root 9a square plus b square. But I realize this whole thing cannot compare with this. Because even if you change to ij also, it becomes like 3a. As you can see, they never darab inside one, right? So, and then they want it to, the bracket inside to be ai plus bj. So what I will do now is try to hilangkan the 3 here. I will try to hilangkan this 3 here, right? So this meaning is 3ai plus 3bj, right? But later I have to take this whole thing bahagi dengan ni. But when I divide like this, I can't compare with this. So what I will do now, okay, I will do something to the magnitude now. What I will do is I will factorize. Because I saw the 9a square, 9b square boleh keluarkan 9, right? And then I'll left with a square plus b square like this. Okay. And then what I will do, let's see. What if I square root the 9, right? Yeah, what if I square root the 9? It's possible, right? Because when you have square root AB, is the same with square root A times square root B, right? But dia kena times baru boleh buat macam ni, ya. So you can see that there's nothing in between here, the symbol, it means times lah. So you can do square root 9, which is 3. But then for the square root A square plus B square, you just write beside like this, right? And then now only I find the unit vector. When you find the unit vector now, you can cut the 3 already. So the magnitude, I mean the unit vector of 3OP, okay, this is the symbol for unit vector, is equals to 3AI plus 3BJ divided with this, which is 3A over 3 square root A square plus B square I plus 3B over 3 square root A square plus B square J, right? And then now the 3 can cut, right? And then you left with this, right? But let's see. But if you look at the unit vector, jawapan yang dia bagi is actually 5 over 2 AI plus BJ, right? So if I want to compare my answer with this 5 over 2 AI plus BJ, I think I have to make sure my I also have the AI plus BJ like this, right? So you can look at my answer. My answer is like AI plus BJ, but my one both got divides this one. So I think the one I have to take it out like this, square root A square plus B square like this. Yeah, this one and this one is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same. Dia benda yang sama. It's just that this one I sudah kembang masuk lah. I already take the take the A and B, already divide this. But I don't want to do that because I want to compare lah. I want to compare with this side. So now you can compare this with this. So AI plus BJ, this side also have AI plus BJ. It means that whatever in front here can equals to 5 over 2. So it becomes 1 over square root A square plus B square equals to 5 over 2, right? And I want to find square root A square plus B square. So actually you can terbalikkan these two number. Yeah, you can terbalikkan. But make sure you terbalikkan both sides also lah. So this will become square root A square plus B square. And then 5 over 2 becomes 2 over 5, right? And let me tell you, this information will help you do the magnitude 2OQ nanti. Yeah, because when you find magnitude of 2OQ, okay, let me show you. So now I will try to do the magnitude of 2OQ. So I don't have enough space, so I'll do it here. Magnitude of 2OQ will be square root. Okay, first, what is the 2OQ vector first? So we all know OQ vector is negative BI plus AJ. Yeah, because Q is negative BA. So it's like somewhere in the second quadrant here lah, negative BA. And from O to Q will be negative BI plus AJ, right? Negative BI plus AJ. And do you realize when you find magnitude, you will take bracket square plus bracket square, and then the bracket inside is negative b and a, and later you can use this to help you sub inside, right? So I forgot to times 2 lah. Are you? Sorry. This one I have to times 2, right? Okay, so times 2 should be negative 2bi plus 2aj. Sorry. So this is the correct one. And then baru saya sub masuk. So dia akan jadi apa? Dia akan jadi negative 2b square plus 2a square. Okay, so it becomes what? Okay, negative 2 when you square, you get 4b square. And then 2a square, you just get 4a square. So it's actually square root 4a square plus 4b square, right? But you cannot sub this one. This one is a square plus b square. Dia tak ada 4. So what you can do, you can factorize out the 4 like this. Just like what you did just now lah. Right? Just now you did the same thing, right? With the 9. So now you do the same thing with the 4. So take out the 4 from the both terms, and then you end up with square root 4, which is 2, and then square root a squared plus b squared, and we all know this square root a squared plus b squared is 205. 2 times 205 is 405, and that is the answer. Okay, only worth 3 marks only. I did so much. Okay, but hopefully you understand lah, my explanation here. Okay, so this is how I would do it. Okay, so sudah siap? Let's continue. Okay, bahagian B, they says bahagian ada 3 soalan, jawab 2 soalan. Okay, in this video, I will jawab all of it. Yeah, I will jawab all the questions, right? Okay, so let's do it. 13A, sketch the angle -7 over 3 pi radian on diagram 10. Hence, state the quadrant for the angle. Okay, first of all, if you want to sketch the quadrant, you need to make sure you know where you have to, which quadrant you have to put the line first lah. So this one, they give the angle in radian. So it's very difficult to know which quadrant, right? So why not you change to degree? Because when you change to degree, you can lebih nampak lah. You boleh lebih nampak dia punya angle tu in between berapa degree, and you lebih nampak dia which quadrant. So how to convert? -7 over 3 pi. Okay, when you want to convert radian to degree, you darab 180 over pi. Okay, so pi potong. 3 and 180 also can potong. 60 times 7, -420 degrees. So rupa-rupanya this is -420 degree. But -420 is already lebih satu circle already. Yeah, it's already more than one complete circle. Sebab dia sudah lebih 360 already. So what you have to do is you have to minus 360 so that you know how many degree. Okay, but what about the negative? Okay, the negative jangan tekan. The negative just biarkan saja, because the negative only indicates the direction. So the angle later will start from here: 0, 90, this is 180, this is 270, 360. You will always go anti-clockwise. Yeah, always go anti-clockwise. So it's like 0 and then go this direction, 90, 180, like this. Okay, anti-clockwise. But if you want negative, then you go clockwise, right? But when you tekan 420 minus 360, don't tekan the negative. Just tekan 420 minus 360 cukup. So you get 60, right? So it means you will try to sketch -60 degrees sekarang. Okay, yeah, -60, right? So I told you already, the negative is dia hanya direction saja. Okay, the negative dia menggambarkan direction dia clockwise. Faham kan? Because positive is like anti-clockwise, so negative is clockwise. So this is 0, and then if I go negative, I have to go down already. It means dia bukan jadi macam ni lah, right? Instead of 270, this is becomes -90 already. Yeah, -90 already. And then this becomes -180. And then this becomes -270. And then this becomes -360. So everything is upside down because negative, right? Yeah, it goes clockwise already. So -90 like this. So where do you think it's -60? Somewhere in this quadrant. Do you agree? Somewhere in this quadrant, right? And this one we call it quadrant 4, right? But don't stop here. You have to label the angle, right? So is it correct if I label the angle like this? No, right? No lah. What is this? This is -60. They want -420. So it's wrong, Or maybe some of you label like this. Ini pun salah. Ini pun salah. I told you already. You have to go clockwise because the angle is negative. So you have to start from this line and go clockwise. It means go down. But how you want to go? Okay, you have to go one full circle first. When you go one circle like this is -360. And then tolak lagi dengan 60. So this is how you should label it, right? So I repeat one more time. Negative means you have to go this direction clockwise. And why you have to go one full circle first is because just now you got -360, right? So that's why you have to complete one circle and then baru tambah dengan 60. So this is the angle -7 over 3 pi radian. Or you can also write -420 pun boleh. Okay, they got asked us to state the quadrant. So just tulis saja. This is quadrant 4. Yeah, quadrant 4. Okay. So this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So my angle is in quadrant 4 lah. Okay, sudah siap. So this is only worth 2 marks. Okay, let's do B. B says solve. It means cari X lah. Solve the trigonometric equation ini for 0x in between 0 and 360. Okay, when you solve means later you want to find X. It means you kena buang dia punya trigo nanti. So for example, if it's like ada sign before X, then you kena buang itu sign, you kena tekan shift sign or shift cos or shift tangent, whatever. And always when you buang itu, you have to check whether it's a normal case or special case. If it's normal case, you have to find a reference angle using the calculator. But if it's a special case, you have to hafal, you kena hafal ada 7 special case kan. Then for the special case, you have to hafal and then write the answer according to depending on what is which special case lah. Okay, let's do it this question. So 4 cot x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, this is good because dia sudah ada satu, dia ada satu saja, which is cot, satu trigo saja cot. But cot is actually 1 over tangent, so you can change to 4 over tangent x minus 1 equals 0. And the reason I change is because my calculator don't have cot. My calculator only have sin cos tan saja. So I want to change it to something where I can press the calculator later lah. So I change to 4 over tangent x, right? And for those who don't understand, it's because 4 times cot ma, cot is 1 over 10 ma. And then when you times, you darab atas saja. So that's why I do fast lah. I straight away tulis atas macam ni, right? Okay, I'm trying to find x. So macam mana nak pindah? Okay, first I will pindah -1 to the other side and then terbalikkan both sides. Terbalikkan. So let me show you what I mean by that. It becomes 4 tan x equals to 1 like that, right? And then you can flip upside down like this. Because this one is over 1 like this, right? So when you flip, it becomes like tangent x over 4 equals to 1. And then the 4 hantar sana jadi tangent x equals 4 like this. Ataupun ada lagi satu cara, you darab silang. Darab silang can also. Okay, just darab macam ni. So tangent x times 1, nothing happen, equals 4. So sama saja. Okay. Okay, let me continue here. Tangent x equals to 4. So is this normal case or special case? It's a normal case. Because special case, for tangent, special case is 0. Yeah. For sine and cos, dia punya special case ada 0, 1, -1. So the special case for sine is 0, 1, -1. For cos also, the special case is 0, 1, -1. But for tangent, the special case is only 0 saja. Okay. So this is like normal case. So for normal case, you will use your calculator to get the reference angle first. But first you need to check which quadrant. Okay. So tangent bernilai positive. So add sugar to coffee. Tangent, when the answer comes up positive, means your angle is in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Okay, so later, after you get your reference angle, you have to convert to quadrant 1, quadrant 3, right? So now I will write down x, tangent buang sana jadi tangent inverse 4. And when you tekan this, the calculator will give you the RA, reference angle. So let's press shift tangent 4. My calculator give me 75.96. Okay, so this is the reference angle. What is reference angle? Reference angle means quadrant 1 punya angle lah. Quadrant 1 punya angle. So now to get the real answer, I have to convert to 1 and 3. So quadrant 1 is 75.96. How to convert to quadrant 3? You take 180 plus. Yeah, 180 plus with the first quadrant. So you get 255.96. Okay, this is how you convert first quadrant for. So remember, for first quadrant, convert to third quadrant, you take 180 plus. So this is the answer. And they said they want the answer to be in between 0 and 360. So yeah, both my answer is in between 0 and 360. So sudah siap lah. Okay, we can continue with C question. So this is also trigonometry. It is given that tangent A is square root P, cos B is -305. Okay, this one confirm later kena lukis. Confirm. You remember, if the exam question looks like this, where they give you like something A equals to this, something B equals to this, like this, it means you have to lukis. You have to lukis. Because if you don't lukis, you can't label this information. And if you can't label this information, you can't do the sec A and the tangent A minus B, and then you cannot do lah. But why the last question I never lukis is because they asked us to solve. They asked us to find X, right? This question, they never asked us to find X. They have asked us to find like sec X or like sec A and then tangent A minus B, right? So this question requires us to draw it out. Kita kena lukis sebenarnya. So what I will do now is lukis. So because if I don't lukis, I can't label this information, right? That's why I have to lukis, right? And when you lukis, for this type of question, when you lukis, you have to betul-betul tengok dia which quadrant. Yeah, because if you tengok if you lukis at the wrong quadrant, then later your answer will be wrong also. Because you will silap letak the positive, negative. Okay, so given that tangent A equals to square root P, but I don't know which quadrant. Okay, but it's okay. And then cos B is -305. I also don't know which quadrant, but they got say here A and B are on the same quadrant, but they never tell us which quadrant. So what you can do is you can look at the answer is positive or negative, because we all know add sugar to coffee, right? So for cos B is -305. Cos B, I think, okay, if cos positive, it will be the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant, right? So cos negative would be second quadrant and third quadrant. For tangent A, they actually never write positive or negative, so I think it's positive lah. Yeah, I think, yeah, because, okay, P cannot be negative lah, because if P is negative, then square root negative will be like math error already, because you cannot square root negative value, right? So I think we can all agree P is a positive number, and when you square root a positive number, automatic you get positive lah. So square root positive number is positive. So what is tangent positive? Quadrant 1 and quadrant 3, right? So which quadrant do you think is the angle A and angle B? Is quadrant 3 lah. Yeah, we choose the one that overlap, right? Cannot be quadrant 2, because they already say this one is quadrant 1 lah. So it cannot be quadrant 1, because if cos negative means it's either 2 or 3, right? So it cannot be quadrant 2 also, because tangent A positive mana boleh quadrant 2, right? So you understand, right? It means you choose the overlap here. So tangent positive is 1 and 3, cos negative is 2 and 3, so the overlap is 3. So 3 is the one that satisfy both. Okay, that satisfy both. So the angle is in quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 3, so you draw here, right? And then tarik satu line to x-axis and then put 90 degree. Okay, so the angle A is here. Okay, the angle A is here, right? Okay, when your angle is not inside the right angle triangle, you should find the reference angle. Okay, so I always tell my student this same thing, right? Like always when you look at the angle, and if your angle is not inside the right angle triangle, then you better find the reference angle. So the angle is already is like it's more than 180 already, so it cannot fit inside the right angle triangle. So you better find the reference angle. So let me show you how to find reference angle. If it's quadrant 2, you want to find reference, you take 180 minus. If it's quadrant 3, you want to find reference, you take theta minus 180. And if it's quadrant 4, you take 360 minus. This is how you find the reference angle when it's quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So now it's quadrant 3, right? So you have to minus 180. So imagine taking this angle minus 180. You will end up with this, right? Do you agree? Because 180 is from here to here, right? So when you take the angle A minus with 180, ini balance dia, right? And we will use the reference angle to label the tangent information. So they say tangent A is square root P, tak ada nothing dekat bawah means O1 lah. So tangent formula soka towa. So this is the O, this is the A. Okay, so depan angle kita panggil O, depan 90 kita panggil H, the remaining one we call it A, adjacent. Okay, so dia kata opposite is square root P, adjacent is 1. So padam and tulis. Opposite is square root P, and then the adjacent A ini padam tulis 1. Okay, what about the hypotenuse? Tak bagi tapi boleh cari. And you should cari now. Yeah, you should cari now. Okay, you should cari now. And you cari using Pythagoras theorem, because you already have the other two sides. So to find this side, you just have to use Pythagoras. So square root bracket square. Okay, sini masuk square root P, sini masuk 1. Okay, plus or minus? Plus. Why plus? Because you are finding the hypotenuse, which is the longer side. When you're finding the longer side, you have to plus. So now you end up with square root. Okay, square root P square. Okay, this square root and this square boleh potong. So tinggal P je lah. And then plus 1 square, which is P plus 1. Okay, done. Now I have to draw another new diagram. Why? Because there's another angle. Okay, there's another angle B. So you have to draw another one. So it belongs to the same quadrant. Okay, they already said. So you also tarik to x-axis like this, and the angle also look like this, and the reference angle is also here. Okay, this time I call it beta. I call it x lah this time. Okay, I call it x. Okay, when we label this information, we have to look at the cos information. So cos is negative 305. Okay, ignore the negative. The negative only indicates quadrant. So just look at the value here, 3 and 5, right? So 3 will be the adjacent, because cos ma ka. So adjacent, and 5 will be the hypotenuse, right? So you will use the reference angle x to determine the opposite adjacent hypotenuse. So depan angle kita panggil O, depan 90 kita panggil H, and then the remaining one we call it A. And the A is 3, right? So straight away write 3 here. And then the hypotenuse is 5, right? So erase this and write 5. Then what about the opposite? Dia tak bagi tapi boleh cari. And you should cari now. Yes, you should cari now. When you have two sides, straight away find the other side. So it will be square root, bracket square. This time will be 5, 3. Okay, plus or minus. This one have to minus already. Why minus? Because you are not finding the longer side of the right angle triangle. This is not the longer side. Okay, that's why you have to take the longest, which is 5 minus 3. Okay, 5 square is 25 minus 3 square, 9, 16, 4. So the panjang here is 4. Okay. Okay, now I'm done with my drawing. Now only I will do the question 1. Right? And let me tell you, if you don't do this step first, you tak boleh buat your question 1, question 2 one. Yeah, memang tak, it's not possible. Yeah. Kalau tak percaya, you tengok. Tengok, number one dia suruh cari sec A, right? Okay, sec you can change to 1 over cos, right? And for 1 over cos A, okay, what do you think? This cos A, you want to refer the first diagram or the second diagram? Mestilah the first one, because this one dia nak cari cos A mah. So you have to look at this cos A lah, right? And what is the cos formula? Adjacent over hypotenuse. But since your A is not in quadrant 1, it's not inside the right angle triangle, you will use the reference angle lah. Yeah, the reference angle for A will be alpha here, right? This alpha. Okay? It means cos A and cos alpha will give you the same answer actually. That's why you can use the reference angle alpha to get the answer for cos A, right? But you have to check whether it's positive or negative lah, because your angle A is not quadrant 1 actually, it's quadrant 3. But your alpha is quadrant 1. But you can use the reference angle. You can use the quadrant 1 angle to help you get the answer. Okay, it's just that you have to check whether it's positive or negative later. Okay, so what I will do now is I will write down the adjacent or hypotenuse. So the adjacent for the angle alpha will be 1, and then hypotenuse will be square root p plus 1. But you have to leave an empty space here to check whether it's positive or negative. And your A is actually quadrant 3, right? So in quadrant 3, only tangent positive. And now you find cos, so you have to put negative. And then what is 1 divide this is you get negative. Wait, did I do it correctly? Yeah. Adjacent over hypotenuse, right? Adjacent is 1 over square root p plus 1. So, wait. Sec A is 1 over cos A, right? Okay. And then sec 1 over cos. 1 over cos means uh cos A. Cos A is this one. The adjacent is 1 lah. The hypotenuse is 1 over square root p plus 1. And then when you terbalikkan, because 1 divide means you terbalikkan, so it becomes negative square root p plus 1. So this is the answer, right? Is this correct? Okay, but I'm looking at the schema bagi lain. So, saya tengah fikir mana saya buat salah lah. So, sec A. Cos A cos A. Okay, did I do this correctly? Square root p square plus 1 square. Square root p plus 1. Wait, let me think, Adjacent is 1 over... Adjacent is 1 lah. Hypotenuse is square root p plus 1. And then when you terbalik, you get this one lah. Huh. Okay, the schema put like this. Negative 1 over square root p plus 1. Yeah, this is the schema answer. But I feel like I did everything correctly. Okay, tak apalah. I will just do the second question. If I did any mistake, you tell me. You tell me in the comments. Okay. Okay, let's do number 2. Tangent bracket A minus B. Okay, for this, you have to use the tangent multiple angle. I mean the addition angle. Yeah, the addition angle for tangent, right? So let's write down the formula first. Tangent A plus minus tangent B. Ini formula dia over 1 minus plus tangent A tangent B. Oh, actually I shouldn't write the plus minus. So if it's minus, straight away you will, if this one plus minus means dia akan ikut, dia ikut whatever here. Tapi kalau minus plus means tak ikut. So tak ikut means kalau sini minus, sini plus like that. So yeah, this is the formula we will use now. Okay, for angle A, I will refer the first diagram. Okay, because the first diagram is for angle A. And then for angle B, I refer the second. So tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tangent A tangent B. Okay, tangent A, I will look at the first diagram. So opposite bahagi adjacent because tangent towa. But you have to leave an empty space here. Why? Later I have to check positive or negative, right? Because your A is actually like a third quadrant angle. But you use the reference angle to help you find the answer first. So tangent A will be same with tangent alpha. So opposite over adjacent, square root P over 1. But you have to check positive or negative. Okay, angle A is quadrant 3. So tangent memang positive. So positive lah. Let's try with tangent B now. So same thing, tangent formula is opposite bahagi adjacent. But since your B is in third quadrant, you will use the reference angle X to help you. So what's the opposite angle for the reference angle? 4. Adjacent is 3. And then make sure you check positive or negative. So tangent third quadrant, Positive also because third quadrant tangent positive. Okay, done. Now for this one you can just copy only lah. Tangent A tadi you sudah buat kan, square root P over 1 or just write square root P pun boleh. And then tangent B is 4 over 3. Okay, just salin dari atas saja. Sebab tadi you sudah buat. Okay, sekarang kita just simplify yang ni. So dia jadi apa? Okay, square root P over 1 means square root P, right? But what I will do is I will combine this into a single fraction. It means I will samakan dia punya bawah sini. So darab 3 macam ni. So it becomes 3 square root P minus 4 and then the whole thing over 3, right? And then don't forget this whole thing have to divide with this, right? Okay, I will write the divide like this because dia sudah jadi apa 4 tingkat already. Okay, so that's why I want to write my divide like this. So this one, yang ini yang dekat atas lah. And then yang dekat bawah sini saya akan tulis dekat sini. Okay, this one also I will try to make the denominator bawah sama. Okay, so the 1 times 3 becomes 3 and then the square root P times 4 which is 4 square root P like this. Paham kan? Because square root P times 4 is 4 square root P over 3. And then this one, since I want to make it into a single fraction, I buat macam ni lah. 1 times 3 like this. So it becomes 3 plus 4 square root P over 3. Okay, sekarang kita boleh tukar ni jadi times. But when you tukar jadi times, yang ni stay the same. But this one have to terbalikkan. So atas bawah terbalik. So jadi 3 over 3 plus 4 square root P. And now 3 and 3 boleh potong. So dapatlah jawapan. 3 square root P minus 4 over 3 plus 4 square root P. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's continue. Number 14. It is given that the straight line y equals 1 minus m bracket x plus 1 is tangent to the curve y equals x square. Find value of m. Okay, the keyword here is tangent. So tangent means the curve and the straight line, they will only touches at one point. The curve and straight line, dia sentuh satu point saja. Itu maksudnya tangent. Okay. So let me draw nicely. Something like this. Touches one point. Okay. So when touches one point, you can do b square minus 4ac equals 0. Okay, b square minus 4ac equals 0. It means this is from 4 chapter 2 quadratic punya chapter lah. Tapi before you do the b square minus 4ac equals 0, you have to take the curve equation and the straight line equation, you have to do simultaneous first. Simultaneous means you have to gabung dua equation ni jadi satu, and kita boleh guna cara penggantian substitution method ataupun penghapusan elimination method. Okay, but you use substitution lah. Just do substitution. Okay, so remember, if the exam question give you a curve equation and a straight line equation, you will straight away do simultaneous. You don't care whether it's like touches 1 point or touches 2 point or does not touch. We don't care. We just always start with simultaneous. Okay, it doesn't matter dia touch or no touch or whatever. Just do simultaneous. After you do simultaneous, baru you tengok dia touch 2 points or touch 1 point or does not touch. Kalau you sudah buat simultaneous, dia kata touch two different point, touch at 2 point. Then you do b square minus 4ac bigger than 0. Tapi kalau dia cakap touches at 1 point, then you do b square minus 4ac equals 0. Tapi kalau dia kata does not touch, you do b square minus 4ac smaller than 0. Okay, so the main thing here is you have to do simultaneous first. Okay, kalau dia bagi curve punya equation straight line, you always do simultaneous. So this is y equals, this is also y equals. So we can just sub by using y equals y lah. Just do penggantian macam ni. And kalau saya, I will expand this first. So 1 negative m times x is negative mx. Negative 1 times 1, negative m times 1 is negative m like this. Okay, and then the whole thing equals to what? Equals to x square. And since I'm trying to do b square minus 4ac later, I will try to make it general form. And I will try to make my a positive. Okay, so I don't want to pinna the x square here because if I pinna here, it becomes negative. So I think it's better, it's not this positive, it's better I leave it there. And then if I want to arrange general form, the next thing I have to write is the x lah. So negative mx pindah sana jadi plus mx, minus m pindah jadi plus m, plus 1 jadi minus 1. So this whole thing will be your c later, the m minus 1. Because dia tak ada x square, so this must be the c. And then the a is 1, the b is m, then the c is m minus 1. So now it's perfect already. We can do the b square minus 4ac equals 0. Kenapa equals 0? Sebab tangent. Tangent means touches 1 point. So b is m, a is 1, c is m minus 1. Now we just simplify this. M square minus 4 times m, negative 4m, negative 4 times negative 1, positive 4 equals 0. Times 1 tak payah buat because when you times 1, nothing happen, right? So just negative 4 times m, negative 4 times negative 1, dapat ni lah. Okay, sekarang kita boleh simplify, dapat m equals 2. Okay, my calculator give me m equals 2. It means, walaupun you punya calculator bagi satu jawapan, but you have to tulis dua kali. Yeah, because satu jawapan means 2 equal roots. It means you have to repeat the same roots for the second answer. You have to tulis dua kali If you tulis satu kali salah. And then bracket sini tulis m minus 2 like this. Like this. Right? Tak boleh tulis kali saja. If you tulis kali, then your working look like this already. Then it doesn't make sense already. Yeah, tak betul already. Yeah, it should be like this, right? Why it should be like this? Because like this, then only when you kembang then only make sense dia boleh jadi balik atas, right? Macam ni lah. Okay, so this is the answer. Sudah siap? Let's keep going. Okay, now I'm at question B. Okay, they says the height of drone A and drone B in meter from the ground are represented by function ht equals to this, gt equals to this. So this is the height of drone A, this is the height of drone B. Such that t is the time in minutes after the drones are flown into the air. So t is the time in minutes after drones flown in the air. Okay, boleh. And then dia kata by using completing the square method, find the difference in height between drone A and drone B if both drones are at their own respective maximum height. So I think you have to find the maximum point for this function and this function. Yeah, the maximum point, the t maximum. Okay. And after you find the maximum point, ambil dia punya y coordinate because they want to find difference in height. So kalau you nak cari tinggi, you will take the y coordinate. Because the y coordinate will tell you the vertical distance, right? And then ambil besar tolak kecil lah sebab dia mau difference, right? And they already say which method using completing the square. So saya tak boleh guna formula cepat itu apa negative b over 2a. Ada satu cara cepat, right? This formula you can straight away find the x coordinate of the turning point and then sub masuk dalam function to get the y coordinate. But you cannot do that because they already said use completing the square method. So let's write down the first function for drone A. So for drone A, the function is ht equals, okay, let's susun jadi general form, negative 1 over 2 t square plus 4t, right? Okay, when you do completing the square, you have to make sure your a is positive 1. And after your a is positive 1, you will tambah b over 2 square and minus b over 2 square like this. This is how you do completing the square. So first thing first, our a is not positive 1. So I will bahagi the whole thing. The whole thing here have to bahagi negative 1 over 2. So that your a is positive 1. So 4 bahagi negative 1 over 2, you can use your calculator. Just tekan 4 bahagi bracket negative 1 over 2, you get negative 8. And then after you reach here, now it's time to do this plus bracket square minus bracket square. But where you will plus, you will usually plus at the belakang part. So it will be t square minus 8t. Okay, and then here you buat plus bracket square minus bracket square. Okay, this quadratic function dia tak ada c tau. It means dia punya c kosong. Tapi kalau ada c, usually the c I will write here. Okay, saya akan tulis sini. Tapi kalau tak ada, tak payahlah. Because kosong lah. Okay, and then close the big bracket. Okay, I forgot to do the big bracket here. Actually, you should do the big bracket. Sebab dia sudah ada small bracket dalam so you have to use big bracket. And this big bracket sangat penting. This big bracket very important. Why? Because later last kali you will take the negative 1 over 2 darab masuk, right? And if you forget to buka the big bracket then you will forget to darab masuk, then salah di. Okay, sekarang what you have to write inside the bracket? You have to write b over 2. For the b you cannot refer here. Salah. For the b you have to tengok sebelah sini, right? Okay, so negative 8. So negative 8 over 2. Sini pun negative 8 over 2. Okay, now the next part is negative 1 over 2. The big bracket have to write. This big bracket very important. Now you will ignore the negative 8t. Yeah, the negative 8t jangan tengok. You only focus on the t square and this square. Alright. So what I will do is I will open the bracket. Okay. T tulis dalam, square tulis luar. Okay. Same thing here. Negative 8 over 2 tulis dalam, square tulis luar. So negative 8 divided 2 is negative 4, and then the square tak payah square because I tulis luar already. Okay. And then continue with the next part, negative. Okay, this one you have to square. So negative 8 divided 2 is negative 4, square is positive 16. Okay. But I have to write minus lah because there's another minus outside the bracket. Okay, sekarang belum siap lagi Sekarang you have to take the negative 1 over 2, darab masuk inside these two terms. So when you darab masuk, it becomes negative 1 over 2, and you don't have to write the big bracket already. Tak payah tulis dah big bracket ni, sebab bila you darab masuk, big bracket ni sudah hilang. So bracket t minus 4 square, and then negative 1 over 2 times negative 16 is positive 8. So this is how you do it. Okay, sekarang kita boleh buat untuk B punya. Okay, B punya. So I will draw a line to separate them. Okay, sekarang kita tengok B punya function. So let's scroll up a bit. Where is it? Okay, I find it already. This one, GT. So GT equals to negative 5 bracket T minus 2 square plus 22. Wait. This one is already in vertex form already. This is already in, this is like, sudah vertex form. They already, how to say? Sudah buat completing the square punya. Right? So I don't have to do anything already lah. You jangan pergi expand kembang ini. If you kembang then later it becomes general form already. So we don't want that, right? they already said they want to use completing the square method. It means they want your function to be in vertex form. It means it looks like this lah. Okay, why we want our answer to be in vertex form? Because when your answer looks like this, okay, like this, which is in vertex form like this, you can get your turning point. And the method to get your turning point is we will look at our a value, our p value, and our q value. So in this case, your a is -102. It means this quadratic curve, the shape is look like this. Because if the a is negative, then yeah, it's like a set face like this, right? And then so if it's like this, means we call it maximum point. Okay, maximum point. And the coordinate, you have to look at this value here and this value here. So the value inside the bracket, this is the x coordinate. Tapi kena tukar tanda. So -4, when you take out, it becomes 4. And then a, when you take out, this one no need to tukar tanda. So the 8 will just be 8 like this. Okay, same with this. -5 is the a, right? It means the shape is like this. So if it's like this, then it's maximum or minimum? Maximum also. And what is the maximum point coordinate? Okay, -2 when you take out become 2, and then the y coordinate just take out 22 like this. But I told you already, they want difference in height between drone A and drone B. So we will only focus on the y coordinate. Yeah, kita fokus dekat y coordinate saja. So it means they want the height height. So height is the y coordinate lah, the vertical distance lah, 8. Okay, so the difference will be what? The difference will be, okay, the y coordinate is 22, the y coordinate is 8, so 22 minus 8, the difference is 14 meters, right? Okay, is that what the question wants? Find difference of height if both drones are at their own respective maximum height. Betul lah. So when they are both at the maximum height, the difference is 14 meter. It means the drone B is like lagi tinggi lah. The drone B lebih tinggi. Okay. Okay, so let me make this smaller because I need space to do my B. Okay, next question. Question 2. So they says find the range of time in minutes if the height of drone B is at least 17 meter from the ground by using the number line method. Height of drone B. So drone B punya formula is this one, right? -5 bracket t minus 2 square plus 22. But they want the height this time to be at least 17. So bigger or equal 17 lah. And then find t lah. Because find time, find t. So you take the whole thing, bigger or equal 17. You don't go and sub 17 inside the t here. No, 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 no. You can only do like that if 17 is the time. But the 17 is actually the height. So you bukan ganti t17. You actually take the whole thing, bigger or equal 17. Okay, they got say by using number line method. It means this is a quadratic inequality. Because when you do quadratic inequality, there is 3 methods. You have number line, method, and you also have the graph sketching method, and then you have another method called the table method, right? But this question they said they want to use the number line method, right? So okay lah, later I use number line method. But first you have to make it general form and you have to solve macam biasa dulu. It means cari find the two answer for t first. So sekarang kita buat macam biasa dulu. So what we have to do to find t, okay, you have to make it general form lah. So expand this. So how to expand? The correct way to expand is you take the t square, and then t times -2 times 2, which is -4t, and then -2 squared, which is +4. So this is the correct way to expand. And then the 17, I think I'll move it here. So 22 minus 17 is -5, bigger or equal 0. The reason I move it here is because I want it to be 0 on the other side. Because general form mesti equal 0. And then -5 darat masuk dapat -5t square, negative +20t, -5 times 4, -20, -5 terus tulis -25 lah. Bigger or equal 0. And since later I need to use the number line method, I have to get my two answer for t, right? But this is negative. So what you can do is tukar tanda, ini pun tukar tanda, ini pun tukar tanda. And I want you to know, when you tukar tanda macam ni, what you are doing actually is you are dividing everything by -1. You tengah bahagi -1, bahagi -1, bahagi -1. That's why all tukar tanda. It means the 0 also have to divide -1. But 0 divide -1 is 0 lah. So just write 0. And then what happens to this symbol is you have to terbalik jadi smaller equals. Because when you take, when you ambil nombor kosong ni bahagi negative number, this one have to, how to say? Have to terbalikkan dia punya symbol. Okay, before I press my calculator, I realize something. 5, 20 and 25, semua nombor ni boleh bahagi 5. Yeah, you can kecilkan. So divide 5 is 1, divide 5 is 4, divide 5 is 5 like this. Sekarang baru saya tekan calculator, tekan dia punya ABC, dapat 2 answer. Okay, if you press this, I think you will get, let me see, 1, -4, 5. Okay, I got, wait, let me press one more time. Okay, did I make any mistake here? Let's see. -5t squared, -20. Okay, betul kan? I did 22 minus 17. Okay, wait Which part I bought salah? -5 plus 22. Okay. Uh, t squared minus 4t plus 4. This is correct. 22 minus 17 is, oh, this one is +5. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 22 minus 17 is +5. So it should be, yeah, this is not -25. This is wrong also. Yeah. Okay, let me do it one more time. Okay, so 22 plus 5. So this one is -5 times 4, which is -20 plus 5 like this. So you end up with -5t squared plus 20t. -20 plus 5 is -15. Bigger equals 0. This one is correct. Okay, so I seal up here lah just now. Okay, now I can tukar tanda for everyone. -20t minus 15 jadi +15. But I told you already, when you tukar tanda means you divide everything by -1. So 0 also divide -1. That means bigger have to terbalik jadi smaller. And then can kecilkan 5, 20 and 15 all can divide 5. So bahagi 5. Bahagi 5 is 4. Bahagi 5 is 3. Smaller equals 0. And if you tekan this, you will get two answer, 3 and 1. Let me try. So A is 1, B is -4, C is 3. Yeah, you get 3 and 1. So if this is 3, this is 1, this is -3, this is -1. But they say they want to use a number line method, right? Okay, number line method looks like this. Now only you start using the number line method. Okay. Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter which method you use, you have to do this step first. This step memang you kena buat one. Doesn't matter which method you use. Okay, you have to do until here, then only it starts getting different. Then only you choose one of the method. Okay, this question I will use the number line method. So the number line method is like this. You draw a line. Okay, I'll do it down here. You do a line, and since your two answer is 3 and 1, so I will choose a dotted line here and a dotted line here. The small number I write here, the big number I write here. And for this part, you will write down the possible answers. Okay, the region here. So this region here is for t smaller than 1. And then this region here is t bigger than 3. Okay, t smaller than t bigger than 3. And then the region in between here would be t in between 1 and 3. It means you write down all the how to say, all the possible answers lah, all the region. Okay, all the possible region. And then what you have to write up here is you have to choose a value that is smaller than 1. Okay, so let's say I choose 0 lah. Okay, you can choose any value that is smaller than 1, but I choose 0. And then you take the t0, you sub inside here. Yeah, you sub inside here. Okay, actually you want to sub here also can, because this one actually come from this one, right? So yeah, you want to sub sini pun boleh. Okay, but I think I will sub into this one, the t minus 3, t minus 1. So it becomes 0 minus 3, 0 minus 1. So what I get, -3 times -1 is +3, and it's positive. So you just write positive. Okay. Okay, next one, t. What is in between 1 and 3? Okay, I can choose 2. And then I sub into this. So it becomes 2 minus 3, bracket 2 minus 1. Which is, okay, 2 minus 3 is -1. -1 times 1, -1, which is negative. Last one, t bigger than 3, I can use 5. So it becomes 5 minus 3, 5 minus 1, which is 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 times 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. So this is positive. So it means we don't want to, okay, what we want to know is actually the sign, whether it's positive or negative, right? So after we did all this, now we can look at this baris here, bracket. So you look at this, you check whether they want bracket bigger than 0 or bracket smaller than 0. So if they want bracket bigger than 0, it means they want the positive region. Okay, because positive, like bigger than 0 so positive right? But if they want bracket negative, I mean bracket smaller than 0 means you take the negative. So for this case, they want bracket smaller than 0, it means you have to take the negative region, which means the middle part. So it means that the answer will be t in between 1 and 3, because when you sub t2, the result comes out negative. So the region is this. Okay, because you want it to be negative, you want it to be smaller 0. And one more thing to mention, if the soalan ada line macam ni, you should put the line also. Okay, but if the soalan tak ada line, then tak payah lah. So this is the answer. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you use the graph sketching method and the table method, you will get the same answer also. Okay, different method but same answer. Okay. Okay, so that's all.
Okay, I'm at the last question, 15. So let's see what it says here. Solution by scale drawing is not accepted. Okay, ini tak penting. Diagram 11 shows quadrilateral PQRS. Okay, such that O is the origin. Okay, line QR is parallel to the x-axis. So this line is parallel to the x-axis. It means this line dia punya gradient kosong. Dia punya gradient zero. If your line is completely horizontal, it's definitely kosong. And this will be 90 degree here, right? And we can actually find the point Q now. Because point Q is a y-intercept. So the x coordinate will be 0 and the y coordinate will be 6 because point R is h6. That means if I tarik bawah, this will be h. And since this is a horizontal line, it means here is 6. That's why point Q is 0, 6. Okay. Okay, let's see what it says down here. Given that area of quadrilateral PQRS is 68, so the area of this quadrilateral is 68. And then A says find value of h. Okay, I think I know how to do. Just use the area. Yeah, just use the area information to find h, right? So this is definitely coordinate geometry. Okay, it's a Form 4 chapter coordinate geometry. So we use the area formula. So since the area given is 68, I can use the formula 1 over 2 modulus, and we have to letak semua coordinate dalam modulus lah. So let's letak point P, negative 5, followed by point Q, 0, 6, followed by point R, h6, followed by point S, 5, -3. And then before you tutup modulus, you have to repeat the first one, -5, and then tutup modulus equals 68, right? So this is the formula to find area. And how we do, okay, what we should do next, we have to darab silang. And we have to start dari atas and then darab silang macam ni, right? So -5 times 6 is -30, tambah 0 times 6 is 0, 0 tak payah tulis. And then tambah h times -3 is -3h, so just put a bracket like this. Tambah 5 times -5 is -25, right? And then minus, why minus? Because you change direction. -5 times 0, which is 0, 0 tak payah tulis. 6 times h is 6h, so 6h minus 6 times 5, 30, 30 minus -3 times -5 is positive 15 and then equals to 68, right? Okay, now we can solve whatever inside the modulus. So h dengan h boleh buat, number dengan number boleh buat. -3 minus 6 is -9h. The number is -30 minus 25 minus 30 minus 15. You can use calculator. So -30 minus 25 minus 30 minus 15. Okay, my calculator give me -100. Yeah, so -100 here equals to 68. So now I can pinna the 1 over 2, so it becomes modulus -9h minus 100 equals to 68 times 2, which is 136, right? And since I want to find h, I need to pinna the modulus now. Yes, because the modulus, yeah, because we cannot pinna the 100. Yeah, because there is a modulus here, so you cannot pinna modulus dulu. So when you pinna modulus, there's two answer, satu positive, satu negative. So -9h minus 100 equals 136, and then the other part will be -9h, -9h minus 100 equals -136. And now we can get our h answer here. Okay, -100 pindah jadi plus 100. 136 plus 100 is 236. So your h will be -236 over 9. And the other answer here is -9h. Okay, -136 have to plus 100. So you can use the calculator. -136 plus 100. I got -36. And then divide -9, which is positive 4 lah, right? Okay, but since your h is here, which is at the right side of the x-axis, then definitely it should be a positive number, right? So I'll just write here rejected lah. Yeah, because the h cannot be negative, it must be 4. Okay, so it means point R is 4, 6. Okay, then only it's logic, right? The h must be positive. So this is 4 actually. Okay, so sudah siap soalan A, let's do B. So B says the point J move, so it's a moving point. So this is locus for sure. So they said point B move such that its distance from P is always 2 times distance from x-axis. Find equation of locus J, hence determine whether locus passes through point -5, 5 or not. Okay, the first part of the question want us to find the equation of locus J. So let's find it now. So they already said the moving point is J. That's why you don't see point J in the diagram, because J is the moving point. It means later you have to let the point J punya coordinate XY. But point J is like titik yang bergerak. So J punya point is XY lah. And they say the distance J moves such that the distance from P, which means JP, equals to 2 times distance from x-axis. So 2 times with the distance of J to x-axis. All right. So I'll just write here this 2 times how to write 2 times J to x-axis. So I'll just write distance of j, distance from j to x-axis, from j to x-axis, right? And on the other side is distance of jp. Yeah, this one is also distance, but distance of jp. So now I can use the distance formula, right? So I'll open a square root here. So distance of jp, the formula for distance is square root bracket square plus bracket square. The first bracket you have to write x minus x. The next bracket you have to write y minus y. But this one you are finding jp. So you have to look at coordinate j and coordinate p, right? So the formula is x minus x. So x minus negative 5 is x plus 5. And then y minus y is y minus negative y plus 5. So this is how you find the distance of jp equals to 2 times with the distance of from j to x-axis. So you open another square root, and now you open bracket square plus bracket square also. But this time your point j is xy, but they want to find distance from j to x-axis. So this is your x-axis, right? Okay. When you find distance from j to x-axis, you will take the y minus 0, and then you will take the x minus x. Okay. So let me explain. Let's say your point j is here, right? Let's say your point j is here. Okay. And you want to find the distance from here to x-axis. So do you agree you're actually finding the vertical distance? There's no horizontal distance at all, right? When you're finding distance from any point, not just here, it can be anywhere. Let's say here, you're finding distance from this point to x-axis. You're also finding the vertical distance because there's no horizontal distance. Yeah, there's no horizontal distance here. There's just vertical distance. That is why the horizontal distance is 0. That's why the x minus x is. That's why I take x minus x. All right. So actually, if you don't want to write this part, you want to write straight away. Write this can also. Yeah, because there's no horizontal distance, right? You are basically just finding the y coordinate minus the y coordinate. Okay, and the y coordinate for the x-axis confirm is 0, 1. So faham kan? That is why the formula looks like this, right? Hope you understand. Okay, now we will try to get rid of the square root, and how we do that? Just square both sides. Okay, square both sides. Because when you square both sides, the square root and square boleh potong. So tinggal dengan x plus 5 square, and I can expand this. I'll get x square plus 10x plus 25. Okay. Same thing here, expand, you get y square plus 10x plus 25, right? How I get this is I just take y square and then y times 5 times 2, which is 10y. So this is y, I see that. And then 5 square is 25, like that, right? Okay, for the other side, the 2 have to square also. So 2 square becomes 4. And then this square root hilang already. Because when you square, the square root square hilang already. X minus x is 0, 0 square is 0. So 0 tak payah tulis. And then y minus 0 is y square is just y square. So you end up with something like this. Now we just have to arrange a bit, then we will get our locus equation. So when we arrange, we have to make sure we write the x square first. The next one, you have to write y square. So sini ada y square, sini pun ada y square, right? But this one is 4y square. So when you pindah sini, dia jadi minus 4y square. And there's 1y square here. So what is 1y square minus 4y square? Negative 3y square. And then next thing I have to write is the x, which is 10x. Okay, so I tulis ni. Next one I have to write y, so plus 10y. And then the last thing I have to write is 25 plus 25, which is 50, right? So this is the equation of locus. Okay, okay, but they also asked us to find something else, right? They said, hence determine whether the locus passes through point negative 5 or 5 or not. So how to know whether this locus, I mean this equation, how to know whether this equation passes through negative 5, 5 or not? So it's very simple. You just sub the negative 5 inside the x and sub the 5 inside the y and see whether you get the left hand side equals to the right hand side. If your left hand side and right hand side is equal after you sub this point, then it means passes through. But if your left hand side is not equals to the right hand side, it means does not pass through. It means it didn't. It means this equation won't pass through this point, right? So let's try. We will sub x and y inside. So bracket square minus 3 bracket square plus 10x, so 10 bracket plus 10y 10 bracket plus 50 equals 0. And this one is x, right? So the x is negative 5, negative 5. And then I think this is y, yeah. So this is 5, 5. So I will try to press all this in the calculator and see whether I get same with the right hand side. If same, then passes through. If not same, then not passes through. So I will press now. 25 minus 3 times 25 minus 50 plus 50 plus 50. Okay, my calculator give me 0, right? It means after I sub this, my left hand side is 0 and my right hand side is also 0. So your left hand side and right hand side is the same value. And if your left if after you sub inside the equation, you get left hand side equals right hand side, that means passes through. So we have to answer the question, determine whether the locus passes through point negative 5, 5. I will say it passes through. Passes through. Okay. So I'll just write my final answer here. The equation of locus, I'll have to write again, right? So this is the answer, x square minus 3y square plus 10x plus 10y plus 50 equals 0. And then comma, determine whether the locus passes through. So I'll just write the locus passes through point negative 5, 5. Okay, passes through point negative 5, 5. And that's all, right? Okay, is this the last question? Okay, yeah, this is the last question. Okay, I'm done with this MRSM paper 1. And if you find this video useful or helpful, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next video. Okay, bye bye.